kamighimo tolangi sikoy ko kamighimo to aldo woy bulan ikaw ang nagbuhat sa kabituunan ikaw ang nagbuhat sa kalibutan manama mawantog ka warag po ko iling koy ko o Diyos kahibulungan ka busa ikaw lang ang simbahon ko
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فقال ربكم ادعوني أستجب لكم آمين يا رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين اللهم اجمع شامل المسلمين والكريستيان والأمم في مدينة دبعو وسلم دائما مجتمعنا هذا بالسلم والأمن والتقدم في بلدنا هذا آمين يا رب العالمين ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على خير خلقه سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين يا رب العالمين.
In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you today to praise and worship you and give you thanks for all the things you continue to provide for ourselves and our families. Father, we humbly ask for forgiveness for all the times we have offended you, when we forget to acknowledge your presence in the image of our brothers and sisters, and for moments we fail to be good stewards of the blessings you have given us. Continue to guide and protect each one of us, Lord, that we may always walk in the lights of your everlasting love and mercy. Grant us, Father, with your comfort in times of distress and with your strength in times of weakness. Bestow upon us your unending grace and healing, that we may in turn become instruments of gentleness and compassion to others. We ask all this in the name of your Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, with the prayer and the intercession of our Blessed Mother. Amen.
manama mawantog ka warag po ko iling koy ko o Diyos kahibulungan ka busa ikaw lang ang simbahon ko busa ikaw lang ang alagaran ko
Cognizant to the needs of our learners, parents, and teachers, the Department of Education provided us with powerful tools for productivity that will allow us to foster critical thinking skills, problem-solving skills, communication and collaboration skills to be compassionate, responsible global citizens. Join us and discover new ideas in our series of professional development training program with the ICTS EdTech Unit and Microsoft Education Philippines. Together, we will equip our learners and empower our fellow educators for a dynamic future. Para sa bata, para sa bayan, at para sa guro. Sulong Edukalidad.
Isang masayang pagbati na may ngiti sa aking mga labi. Good morning po sa ating mga viewers and welcome dito po sa series of webinar na hatid sa inyo ng Microsoft. Ako po si Joy, live na live dito po sa DepEd Central Office. Siyempre, hindi naman ako papayag na nag-iisa lang ako, kaya tatawagin ko na po ang ating makakasama this morning. Please welcome, live din ito from Lapu-Lapu City. Please welcome Ma'am Rumilin. Hello, Ma'am Rumilin. Good morning.
An awesome, an amazing morning, Ma'am Joy. Ayan, napakasaya po. Pangalan niyo pa lang, Ma'am Joy. Ang saya-saya na. Yes.
Yes. Kumusta po dyan sa Lapu-Lapu City?
Okay po kami dito kahit nasa pandemya po, lahat po. Patuloy lang po ang buhay. Positive lang po tayo, di ba? Ayan. So,
Amen.
yes. Kaya po,
And, Ma'am, opo. Special ang buwan ng March, buwan natin ito, mga kababaihan. So, shout out sa lahat ng mga kababaihan all over the world, lalong-lalo na ang mga teachers, ang mga mommies or momshies na nakatutok din sa ating webinar ngayon. Di ba, ma'am?
Yes po, kasi napaka-espesyal po ng magiging TechTalk series natin po sa not just for the International Women's Day on March 8, at sa buong March po kasi ito po yung National Women's Month. Ayan. And our theme po for March is STEM Heroes, na kung saan naka-emphasize po her, H-E-R, capital po yan sa salitang yeah, kasi ibig sabihin po, magbibigay-pugay po tayo sa ating mga kapwa kababaihan na patuloy na namamayagpag po sa larangan ng science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
And mathematics. Yes, that's why we are encouraging all of you na aming pong viewers, so don't forget to put the hashtag STEM Heroes. Yung heroes po, yung H-E-R, i-capital nyo po yan. Para nabigyan natin ng emphasis na STEM heroes ang mga kababaihan. Di ba, ma'am?
Yes, yes, yes! Ayan, ang galing po, no? At of course po, Ma'am Joy. Yes po.
Parang may space pa. Parang pwede pa tayong magdagdag ng isang kasama, Ma'am Rubilin.
Yes po, para po mas balance. Magiging yung mga kababaihan this morning. Yes, tatawagin ko na po. Siya po ay napaka-espesyal po. Yes, ang magaling po din ito. Actually po ang galing po. Babasahin ko lang ng konti yung nalalaman ko sa kanya, Miss Joy, para naman mas
go, ma'am!
Mga nanonood sa atin. Yes, yung magiging co-host po namin this morning, kakaiba po siya. Alam ko po magugustuhan niyo po siya. She's a graduate po of Bachelor of Science, major in Early Childhood Education from De La Salle University. At she has po a wide experience in the field of teaching as an educator of young children. So, lahat po dito, wala pong edad na pinipili, no? So, ayan. So, for the past 9 years, ganyan kataas na po yung experience ng natin, no? At prior to becoming a master trainer, she was also an English lead teacher in an international school in Singapore po, pang international.
Wow!
And she has gained varied perspective in education, both in local and international setting. And a master trainer, okay, she's continuously upscaling her skills by obtaining certification through Microsoft and some other companies, no? So, ladies and gentlemen, Ma'am Joy, yes, let's welcome Miss Mardy Quarisma. Good morning, Miss Mardy.
Good morning, Teacher Mardy.
good morning, Miss Joy, and good morning, Miss Rubilin. At isang mapagpalang umaga po sa inyong lahat mula sa ating mga kaguruan at estudyante na nanonood mula Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao. Ulit ako po si Teacher Mardy at tama po kayo dyan. Isa po talaga akong preschool teacher. Yun po talaga yung forte ko, yung mga maliliit na bata. Yan ang gusto-gusto ko po
Forget.
talaga. Yes. Kayo po ba? Ano po bang level ang tinuturuan nyo?
Ayan. Ako po ay junior high. Junior high
Ay,
school
junior
po.
high. Nako,
Grade
baka mas
10.
matatangkad pa po sila sa akin.
Totoo. Mas matatangkad pa po sa akin. Si Ma'am Robilin.
Ayan, ako naman po, basically elementary school teacher ako, teaching grades 4, 5, 6, pero din po, may mga part-time din po ako sa university and some other level din po. Ayan.
Wow, kumpleto ang level natin.
Ang galing nga po eh.
Diba?
From K to 12 talaga, sakop na sakop natin. At meron pa tayong university level. Ibang level talaga, mga kababaihan.
Ibang level to?
Po? Remember,
Yes.
hashtag?
Yes. Hashtag Stand Heroes. Alright. So, ayan ma'am, may nag-comment para daw tayong host ng, magandang buhay. So,
Ay,
sila na lang ang
tama
mag-judge
po.
kung sino si Melay, sino si Jolina, at sino nga isa?
Si Jolina,
Si
po ba?
Ma'am
Si Ma'am
Sino si
Carla.
Ma'am si Carla.
Jolina. Ayan. Tsaka si Ma'am
Oo.
Ako certified moms ako eh.
Ayan. So we are, yan, ang maganda no, sa seminar natin ngayon, no, even moms, di ba, out there, makaka-relate sila sa content ng ating webinar this morning. Kaya nga, hindi na po natin patatagalin to welcome us all in this special event. Please welcome, we have here our very industrious, humble Director of ICTS, Direct Abram YC Abanil. Good morning, Direk. Good morning po.
Good morning po,
Good morning sa Rubilin and good morning din sa MRD. Good morning sa ating mga viewers from all over the country, no? And welcome to this seminar that we have today on TechTalk being conducted by Microsoft. And thank you sa inyong lahat for attending this webinar on a Saturday, no? We're actually conducting several webinars today. With three webinars today. Itong una is yung sa with Microsoft, pangalawa is with Google, and then the third will be discussing yung mga open educational resources. So simultaneous namin ito ginagawa ngayon. Ang kagandahan nitong ating situation ngayon, yung when making use of technology, is pwede nyo pong i-attend itong tatlo asynchronously, no? Pwede nyo panoorin later, and then kailangan lang kayo mag-submit requirements para makakuha kayo ng certificate for all of the three webinars. So this is in line with the directive that USEC Elaine has given to the ICT service, in particular yung EdTech unit, na pataasin yung mga gumagamit ng ating mga lahat ng systems, no? In particular, yung DepEd Commons. Sa DepEd Commons, gumagamit na ng mga tao is around 9.5 million users. Noong 2020, nasa top 4 yung DepEd Commons pagdating sa most search na items dun sa Google, no? Ang nagtalo lang sa DepEd Commons, yung COVID-19. Pangalawa is yung US elections. And then yung number 1 is yung NBA. So yun lang yung nakapagtalo sa DepEd Commons in terms of popularity sa pag-search dun sa 2020. Ngayon, ang objective namin for this year is paabutin ng 15 million users ang ating DepEd Commons para makuha natin yung mga nakikita natin sa mga statistics ng gumagamit ng cellphone, no, and internet. If you look at the statistics, nasa 67% actually ang may access sa internet using mobile phones. That is why we have made DepEd Commons naka-zero rate na yan sa lahat ng mga telcos natin para ma-access ng mga kabataan natin at ng mga guro natin ang mga content natin dun sa DepEd Commons. And in line with this, hindi lang naman mga content no ng kailangan ng mga teachers natin at mga guro, o kailangan din ng mga strategies on how to use technology in order to improve their ability to respond to the current situation where we have no face-to-face classes. So we're delivering this mga discussions on how to use technology, and for this particular session we would like to thank Microsoft dahil tinutulungan nila tayo ngayon to teach you kung ano yung mga ibang mga strategies to maximize yung ating O365 accounts. So with that, I'd like to thank you again for attending this webinar, and I hope that marami kayong matutunan that you can make use of when you do your classes in these very difficult times. Good morning ulit sa inyong lahat.
Yan. Thank you so much, Direk. Maraming salamat po na pagbigyan niyo po kami ngayong umaga.
Salamat din,
Ayan.
guys.
Ayan.
Maraming
Thank you
salamat
po.
ulit.
Good morning ulit.
Good morning po.
Ayan. So, as mentioned by Direk, no, challenging ito para sa EdTech or tinatawag nating DepEd EdTech unit kasi talagang mas maraming teachers, mas maraming learners, and even parents na ma-join natin dito sa ating series of webinar, much better. Di ba, ma'am?
Yes, yes, yes. Ayan.
Ah.
Oh, ang galing po, no?
Yes. So,
Po sa atin.
Teacher Mardy?
Yes po.
Sino na pong
Ayan
next?
na po. Ayan na po. At gusto ko na po talagang batiin kasi grabe po yung dumadaloy na mga comments at pagbati sa ating chat box. So, yan, magandang umaga po sa mga taga-Pasig.
Yan. Sige, batiin natin ng ilan.
Good morning po sa inyong lahat. Napakainit po ngayon, medyo ngayon
Good
dito
morning
sa
po.
NCR. Good morning po. Meron din pong taga-Tondo. Meron ako nakita
Ayan.
taga-South Cotabato. Grabe ang ating reach. Ayan. So, patuloy lang
Oo
po
nga,
kayong mag-message.
Nakakatuwa po.
Nakakatuwa.
Si Sir Rolando.
Ayan. Sino pa? Ayan, ang dami po nila. Yan.
Opo,
Ay, gusto
meron,
ko po yung
meron pa po
hashtag.
from,
Ano po?
di
Saan
po ba?
ito?
Meron tayong hashtag
Ay.
STEM Heroes.
STEM Heroes. Ayan.
Very
Dahil
good.
nakikita ko po, na-excited na kayo.
Ayan. Good morning din po.
Ay,
Opo.
meron tayo from Katiklan.
Mhm.
Good morning naman kayo. So, kung excited na po kayo,
Ayan.
patuloy na lang po
Sir.
gamitin ang...
Ayan.
Ayan. So, kung ready na po talaga kayo, patuloy na lang po
Okay lang, ma'am.
gamitin ang hashtag STEM Heroes at tatawagin ko na po ang ating first webinar speaker. Siya po ay isang partner natin from Microsoft Philippines. Isa sa mga asagang partner natin para sa event na ito. At she is the Education Programs Lead who focuses on the academe sector, designing programs across Philippines through education technology. She has achieved multiple certifications tulad po ng Microsoft Certified Educator and Microsoft Office 365. Now, let's all welcome Ms. Clarissa Segismundo, who will share her expertise with us in making an impact in teaching and learning. Bigyan naman po natin ng isang napakasayang virtual clap si Ms. Clarissa.
Yay! Good morning, Ma'am Clarissa! Good morning po!
Magandang buhay, Miss Clarissa.
Magandang buhay!
Magandang buhay. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Rubilin, Miss Joy, and Teacher Mardy. And good morning to Director Abram. I hope he's still in the call. And of course, good morning to all our viewers, to our teachers, to our students, to all the parents, and to all the women who are here with us celebrating International Women's Month. So we're very, very glad and honored that Microsoft has partnered with DepEd to run this month-long seminar focusing on empowering women, especially young female learners, to be curious in STEM, to grow their competencies and career in STEM. Importante po sa atin yan, lalo na sa education, because, you know, as a technology company, we look at technology to democratize information and make education, quality education more accessible to everyone. Dahil yung technology, ang sinasabi natin talaga is the equalizer, di ba? When you're given access to technology, meron ka ring access sa information. May access ka rin sa resources. May access ka rin sa training. In fact, even if we don't see each other face-to-face, physically, wala tayong reason na hindi matuto at umunlad because of all the available trainings that we can find online. Because of all the partners who are willingly supporting and working with DepEd to move STEM forward, to move the quality of education forward, to support all teachers, to give them access to emerging technologies. Hindi lang tayo, Office 365, hindi lang Windows, but we also have emerging technologies that will aid teachers and school leaders to promote computer science, right? Tapos ngayon sa mga bata, marami rin tayong resources na pwede nilang gamitin to avail of all these online trainings with digital badges and with the opportunity to be certified on Microsoft. So, ang dami nating nakikita ditong points of integration tsaka areas of collaboration. And like I said, wala na tayong excuse not to take that opportunity because it's being handed to us. It's now more accessible, and it's like I said, it's free also. Wala naman tayong kailangan na bayaran na extra. Kailangan lang natin na investment is time, and the first step we need to do is show up. Show up, invest in our own skilling, invest in time, and sooner or later magugulat tayo na parang, wow, dami ko na palang natututunan, or ito na pala yung credentials ko, and that will help us move forward with our career, move forward and become more employable and more hireable. Kasi nga, pinag-uusapan na natin ngayon, relevance in STEM. Diba? Relevance in the industry. And today, as our first episode for STEM Heroes in partnership with DepEd and in celebration of the International Women's Month and DigiGirls. Let's not forget, DigiGirls is the main program that we have in Microsoft that promotes STEM, sparks curiosity for young female and adult learners. No, with this, we are actually excited, to show you and to share with you the journey of our different female expert speakers. Iba-iba yung nakikita nating tema, no? So this is just the first week that we're doing the first episode, but expect 3 more episodes in the next 3 Saturdays of March. More exciting as well. We want to be able to connect with more women, show more female young learners, no? Ano ba talaga ang ibig sabihin sa akin ng STEM? We're not saying na dapat ang STEM pang babae lang. Don't get me wrong, ha? I believe in inclusive and equal education. That means, maski babae ako, dapat mabigyan ako ng karapatan maintindihan ano ba ang meron sa STEM. Ano ba ang mga opportunities na available sa STEM na maski bata ako, hindi ko ililimit yung kapasidad ko at mga kaalaman ko sa akala ko na dapat ginagawa lang ng babae. 'Di ba? So, I am probably older than our beautiful hosts here. But I don't know if, growing up, ang naging stereotype natin is may mga specific jobs talaga na panglalaki lang. So kapag may mga inoffer na courses sa akin or training, no, noon na nakikita ko, laging ang initial thoughts ko, ay hindi pwede sa akin yan panglalaki yan eh. Or dapat pag babae, pagka-graduate ko, ganito lang ako, ganito ang pwede kong gawin, ganito ang dapat natanggapin kong trabaho. Kapag inoffer yan sa akin, ay hindi pwede kasi puro lalaki yan, baka hindi ako pumasa or hindi ako ready. There are a lot of stereotypes like that. And maybe now we're more advanced, we're more liberated and more open, but the reality is, may ganun pa rin tayo. May ganun pa rin in certain industries, in certain culture, in certain areas, certain cities, certain provinces, correct? In certain countries. And so when we win more opportunities, no, as young as K to 12 learners. At we spark their curiosities and we make them understand sa science, technology, engineering, and math, ito yung interesting na pwede mong matutunan. Why? Because maybe that will allow this girl, this young girl, to think about, uy, gusto ko pala maging data scientist. Gusto ko pala maging engineer. I want to focus on math. I don't have to, stay in certain jobs na sinasabi ng society na pangbabae lang pala, right? But at the same time, as a woman and as an individual, I also have the right to say, now that I've seen everything in STEM, I've tried it, the opportunity was given to me, hindi ko pala siya gusto, right? Because some individuals are more for arts, music, communications, and languages, and that's fine. Kasi yun yung kailangan ng mundo natin para mag-coexist tayo, di ba? You have the science, the math, engineering, but you also have the arts and music, right? And that's how we make the world more beautiful and more exciting, right? So that's what we wanted to do through our programs in DigiGirls, through the partnerships that we have with DepEd, by giving everyone, especially our girls, our women learners, the opportunity to understand STEM, to appreciate it, to embrace it, and say, hey, I have a chance. Gusto ko to, gagawin ko to, at ano yung mga suporta na merong pwedeng ibigay sa akin ng eskwela ko, ng mga guro ko, ng magulang ko, ng partners na meron dito. Ano yung mga resources and websites na pwede kong puntahan? How do I get recognized? Hindi lang kailangan ako sa school tumingin. May mga ibang orgs, may mga ibang support groups and community that I am proud that as Microsoft, we will be building over time, creating communities for students who want to advance their knowledge and skills in STEMs. And I'm not talking about college students. We're really talking about, young learners. Maybe we can start from grade school up to senior high school. We are looking at building communities for them to lead, to learn, and to share best practices, not just within the school, but actually cross-regional, cross-country, and hopefully cross regional, cross-division, and hopefully cross-country exposure. Now, we're also growing our skills within the teacher and school leader community to move forward with STEM. And through, our partners like Audentes Technologies, and in the coming episodes, mas mabibigyan namin kayo ng clarity on ano yung mga available na programs na yon, at how do you sign up, where do you access it. So all the details can follow. So yeah, I'm getting carried away and getting really excited. But yeah, I just want to say again, thank you for this partnership, and thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up, and like I always say, thank you for making that decision to invest in your skill by attending this webinar on a Saturday morning. So our lovely and beautiful hosts, I didn't really prepare any slides. I want this conversation to be more casual, kwentuhan tayo. I think that's the fun of this My Tech Talk, right, na inorganize ng EdTech unit. So take it away. I want, I'm eager na makipagkwentuhan sa inyo on a Saturday morning.
Yan, thank you po, Miss Clarissa. It was really an eye-opener, lalong-lalo na para sa mga students, teachers, and parents, para po mas maintindihan nila na STEM is really for everybody, lalong-lalo na in sparking interest sa ating young and adult female learners. Walang age na pinipili, but rather the interest and skill could start even at an early age. Ngayon po, yung ating sila Miss Joy and Miss Rubeline, may mga katanungan pa po sila sa inyo para mabigyan niyo pa po kami ng more insights about the STEM field. So, take it away po, Miss Joy and Miss Rubeline.
All right. So, since po I'm teaching po sa Science and Technology Education Center po, handling elementary po, can you compare and contrast po your experiences without STEM towards your children who have STEM opportunities po sana?
Miss Rubelin, parang pinapalabas naman natin ang tagal ko na nag-aral.
Hindi naman po. Parang 25 na lang po kayo eh.
Which is true, actually. In one of the podcasts that I attended, I was asked the same question. Parang ano yung difference? And thank you. I'm I'm excited to answer this kasi masarap tong i-share talaga. I remember nung grade school ako, okay? There's no such thing as focus in STEM. Parang talagang mag-a-attend kami ng class, wala pa kaming internet, walang computers, right? I mean, when we were taught science, it's really just a book or something that my teacher would put in front of us, a blackboard, and then she'll talk through it. But amazingly, because our teacher was really good, I was able to understand the beauty in biology or in chemistry, right? Those lahat, cells, chromosomes, etc. Parang naiintindihan nakakasunod naman kami nun eh. And because maybe it's how she told the story, it's in the detail, and it's in all the activities and work that she asked us to do. So meron din kaming pre-work na kailangan gawin. That was how how lessons were delivered to us when I was younger. And this was maybe about 20 years ago. Ganon yung classroom setup natin. At AD also, 20 years ago, walang internet, walang YouTube. We weren't distracted by technology. And so our life was about, going to school, connecting with people. If you want to learn, we really go to the library and we have access to all these materials and books. Meron kaming skill to, back then, my skills to research. Really read, because if you don't read, where else can you get the information? We had more patience and more time to sit and wait and we just listen, observe, listen, and do a lot of hands-on activities, right? That was our STEM before. We had some focus in math, a little bit of technology, but I don't think inaddress yung component ng computational thinking, analytical thinking, communications. Maybe back then, the system weren't as conscious as to calling it the 21st century skills, etc., right? But I know we had that before. Now, what do we have today? Today, everything is so advanced, and I'm amazed and really happy for our children today because ito yung mga accessible resources right? You want to learn STEM? Go to YouTube, watch videos for an hour, and whatever was taught to us back then that would have taken the teacher probably 3 weeks, kaya siyang maintindihan ng grade school in 30 minutes. Because the videos now, maganda ang pagka-render, may animation, and it caters to all types of learners. If you're visual, you have a material that can teach you this. If you're auditory, you can just listen to podcasts. You can download audiobooks, right? If you are more into doing, marami rin tayo ngayong mga, science labs and maker fair that children can actually go to and sign up in different communities. So, mas accessible siya. Kaya parang iba yung STEM ngayon. You want to advance and learn more about computer science, hindi ka na kailangan mag-antay ng college to understand computer science because computer science is readily handed out to grade 4 or grade 5 students. How? There are based learning platforms such as Minecraft, and that prepares students to appreciate and understand what computer science is all about, right? You want to appreciate data science? There's sexiness in Excel. Bata pa lang, turuan natin mag-Excel and really show them what's in it for you if you learn to understand and interpret data. Kasi ngayon, 'di ba? Para ngayon, ang competition din yan is all about aesthetics. You tell the story better, you make the person or the learner understand why they need to do it. Gagawin naman nila. Unlike dati, aralin mo yan, itong libro. Memorize mo yan, ipasa mo yung test,
Yes.
So,
Nakaka-relate.
Relate much.
just tell my kids, sometimes ha, there are things na kailangan mo lang talaga gawin. So, okay, for this subject, just do it. Just do it and pass it. Diba? But sana, if there were like 10 subjects, if 10 out of 10, pwede kong ipaintindi sa kanila, ano ba yung importance nito? Why do you have to
Mhm.
study? Even if, when you graduate, hindi mo gagamitin tong subject na to, I still feel there's value in it. For example, my younger son asked me, Ma'am, bakit ko ba kailangan pag-aralan 'tong subject na 'to, eh, gusto ko naman maging businessman. Halimbawa lang, 'di ba,
Mhm.
I don't wanna do this, I wanna be a business owner, I wanna be an entrepreneur. This doesn't mean
Mhm.
anything to me. But I said, "You know, that's what I thought too growing up. Since from grade 1 until high school, may isa kaming subject na paulit-ulit hindi siya talaga nawawala, and I don't really know, sometimes nandun lang kami nakaupo, but why do I need to memorize this? Why do I need to why do I need to spend time really understanding this? Napapasa ko siya, but ngayon ba nagtatrabaho ako, did that ever come up? No. However, by doing that exercise, by following that discipline, by following that process, there's a part in our brain that's trained. That's what I explain
Mhm.
to my kids. Um, yung mga subjects na halo-halo, STEM is important, but we also have values education. We also have reading and language and social science, correct? We have art, we have music, we have PE. Iba-iba yung ginagawa doon and iba-ibang parts ng brain natin, muscles in the brain that's exercised and trained to do that, whether it's memorization, reading, understanding, comprehension, writing. But when all those muscles are trained and worked, pag pag nagtatrabaho na tayo at may ginagawa na tayo, we are not aware that all those skills that we've earned over time contribute to what we know today, to how we work today, how we think, how we process thoughts, how we process information, ideas, and how we interpret them. Right? So ako, aminado ako, sana nag-focus ako sa math. Diba? Sineryoso ko talaga yung math because right now, I'm quite, oh my, dapat, di ba, parang bakit yung ibang tao ang bilis nila mag-compute? I mean, just looking at chart and looking at Excel, but they're not necessarily honor students in math. It's just that somewhere along the way growing up, may tinuro subject yung teacher that got them interested. That's why they're so good at this, right? It's not really memorizing the formula, but it's the skill that you acquired with that computational thinking and analytical and critical thinking. Yep. So to answer your question, Ms. Ruby,
Yes.
parang yun yung difference. Ngayon yung STEM, mas marami ka ng access, mas madami ka ng
Mhm.
opportunity to learn, to be trained, and hindi lang yon. You want to reach out or connect with STEM experts, madali eh. We have our platform, you have social media. You know, you can even sign up in community groups or in websites and you can, ask questions, sasagutin ka rin nila. Information is now easily shared. Hindi tulad noon, 'di ba? Bago mo makausap ang isang expert, parang dadaan ka pa sa maybe I think you have to write like 10 formal letters to be approved to some vocabulary. Dadaan ka sa maraming assistant, secretary, diba? Just to get a speaker, right? But now
Correct.
it's easy to connect with everyone. And I feel that with our experts, if you reach out to them, you ask them questions, hindi rin nila ipagkakait yung sagot. They would want to share as much as they know because it's a free world. Now, everything is, um, culture. Now we have more a culture of sharing.
Mhm.
So, Miss
Yes,
Eva,
ma'am. So,
mm,
speaking of sharing, we are what they call this, encouraging our viewers to ask question. It's a rare opportunity na makakausap natin si Ma'am Clarissa. Ma'am Clarissa, hello daw po from Mayor of Pasig. Ayan. Kaya na po
Hello.
sila nagko-comment eh. Eh, madami sila masyado, kaya inano ko na lang. Sinummarize ko na lang. From Pasig City. Ayan po. So the rest of the viewers, you can comment down your questions para po kay Miss Clarissa at very much po na welcome yung mga questions nyo po na sasagutin ni Ma'am Clarissa. Di ba, Ma'am?
Ayan,
Yes, of
yes
course,
po.
of course.
Yeah, while waiting po sa mga tanong po ng ating participants po, ayan, na-express na po ni Miss Isang yung mga experiences niya in the past as a student. Yeah, as a teacher po, I was challenged po kasi science teacher ako, no? So, yan, mas okay na po ngayon kaysa before. Pero how about po as a parent po, Miss Isang? I know po may mga challenges po, no? In supplying STEM opportunities to our children kasi ako may anak din po ako. Sa inyo po, Miss Isang, why should parents and teachers encourage STEM as one of their children or students' option in choosing which learning strand to take, especially po sa panahong ito po, Miss Isang?
Okay. I feel that's a very personal question kasi now it's more of us talking about our take on STEM as parents. So let me take out my Microsoft hat first and then speak muna as a parent. Okay, for me, I look at STEM as a platform and as a resource for my children to learn life skills as well. It's not so much on me wanting them to be experts in science, technology, engineering, or math. Kung maging expert sila doon at maging, makuha nila, like one of my kids becomes, a famous scientist or someone who can come up with an app and do a lot of programming, that's a plus actually. But that's not my goal. That's not really my goal. If I look at the interest of my children today, mas lean siya towards arts, music, sports, right? And that's fine. That's fine because that side is something that's also beautiful. It's good for the soul, good for the spirit, and also good for mental and physical, all aspects of life, right? But I also shouldn't let them pass the opportunity of learning STEM and appreciating STEM. So how? Yung mga tinuturo ng eskwela, I see the school as my partner as a parent. Hindi ko kalaban ng eskwela dapat. Therefore, kung ano yung curriculum ng eskwela at ano yung mga resources na binibigay nila and it's available for my children, I sign up, I take it, I encourage them, but I don't force them. I don't force. I encourage them to, look at it. If there are requirements, definitely isubmit mo, 'di ba? Submit natin 'yan, gawin mo 'yan because kahit na hindi mo siya gusto, pag ginawa mo, may value pa rin siya sa'yo. Right? I will be honest, there are really some lessons and some that maybe if it was taught differently, kids would be more interested. But if we don't also change the way we teach and deliver these STEM lessons, which are actually interesting na ako na-realize ko, bakit hindi siya kunento ng ganito sa amin growing up? Bakit ngayon, nakikita ko sa tutorials, sa YouTube, etc. Bakit mas mabilis maintindihan? Tsaka it makes sense. Now I understand why my body works this way. Now I understand how rocks are formed. Now I understand, ito pala yung mga planets and this is how, animals live, etc. But it wasn't taught that way, sadly. In some curriculum, in most schools, it's how it's being delivered. And so, with how I look at, positioning STEM to kids, it's there, take it, encourage them. But more than that, what does STEM do, diba? It's teaching them problem solving, understanding, giving the children to understand kung ito yung nakukuha kong data, how do I interpret it? Diba? How do I interpret and try and process that information so that I can make better decisions? Correct? So, yan yung skill na gusto ko dala-dala din ng mga anak ko and hopefully ng mga estudyante natin. And who knows, 'di ba? When we give everyone the chance to learn and appreciate STEM and we equip them with the proper skills, like I said, problem solving, staying curious, not being afraid to make mistakes, being creative, learning to communicate, um, being critical and analytical, and not just accepting everything else that's given to you. Kasi may culture din tayo na kapag sinabi, oo ka na lang. Maski na feeling mo mali or gusto mong tanungin, natatakot ka kasi nakakahiya. 'Di ba? Nakakahiya. Baka pagtawanan ako or baka magalit si ma'am. Baka magalit yung ma'am ng ma'am ng sir natin. Baka 'di ba? Madami eh.
Ayan.
And,
So,
and
Lisa,
these are,
naintindihan ko,
yes.
no? Ang ganda kong pakinggan ko ng mga sinasabi ko ngayon na nakaka-touch ko ang spirit mo. At ito po, Miss Isang, ano po yung magiging tip po ninyo for STEM students and parents if they wanna work in a company po like Microsoft?
Like Microsoft.
Yes.
Yes.
Yun,
Oo.
di ba?
Actually, yan na po yung next question dahil marami rin pong mga STEM students na nakatutok po ngayon this morning. And we want to hear from you, Ma'am Isang. Tips naman dyan.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. Microsoft is a technology company, and we are continuously, investing and developing technology and solutions. And definitely, 'di ba? Meron tayong kakailanganin na manpower and employees and partners who will help us move forward with this, right? So, ang pwede kong ibigay na advice sa mga bata ngayon, if you're interested in growing your skills in ICT, for example, computer science, data science, digital productivity, cloud skills, there are so many competencies and trainings that you can avail of right now. Why is that important right now? Habang bata ka, nag-i-invest ka sa skills mo, mas malaki yung chance mo na mas marami ka pa ring natutunan. When you earn certifications or badges that you can show your employer, someone who will hire you, proven to na pag kinakausap kami ng mga partners namin who are looking for fresh graduates to be hired, ang sinasabi nila palagi, we recognize the value of a diploma from a graduate. Kasi graduate may natapos, it's important pa rin. May chance kang mag-aral, tapusin mo yan, 'di ba? Finish it, importante yan. But you apply with a diploma and a certification which validates what you know, which validates your focus, your competency, mas i-hire ko si applicant number 2. Because may dinagdag siyang kaalaman. You understand? Given that all things are equal, na pareho sila sa interview, pareho sila ng communication skills, engagement, etc. Given na ganon ha. Pag equal yung playing field, pero yung isa diploma, and yung isa may diploma and may certification. When I say certification, it's a recognized certification. Highly likely, the applicant with the certification gets hired. So that's a point. Parang don't, any chance that you get to learn, any chance that you get, na mabigyan kayo ng opportunity for certification or for training or to earn badges, don't take it lightly. Don't take it for granted. Now, working for a company like Microsoft, I never thought, I'd end up working in Microsoft. I'll briefly share lang. My course before was computer applications. I actually I actually moved to a different course because I wasn't really interested in technology. And very typical. Most of my classmates were male. I don't understand programming. There's like nahihilo talaga, and I didn't like it. So I said, I really want to teach. But at that time, the closest course that I can apply, that I can sign up for was human resources. And I wanted, human interaction. I wanted to connect with people, not with computers at the time. And so I said, okay, I'll shift. But guess what? When I graduated, the first job that I got was for a German software company. It was SAP. And imagine, and it was a huge multinational, German software company, and offered me a marketing role. And up to this day, I'm very grateful, and I'm glad I said yes. Not that I have any choice, right? Kasi kailangan ko agad ng trabaho. But then, had I pushed with that attitude na, nako, company na naman to ng computers, ayoko siya, or natatakot ako kasi baka puro lalaki yung nandyan, I will be out of place, I don't belong there, because I wanted to be a teacher, because my idea back then was I wanted to be with kids. I'm a girl, I wanna do this, blah, 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 blah. Something like that, right? It didn't push through. I was quite disappointed, because when I was applying to be a teacher, ang sinabi sa akin ng school, wala kang education units. Even if you're very passionate and interested, bumalik ka ulit, mag-aral ka, balik ka after 2 years. I couldn't afford anymore to study. I wanted to work. So fast forward, from SAP, after another company, I was hired by Microsoft, and it was really just a dream for me. I remember walking along Makati, and I saw that Microsoft office. And I think at that time, I was still in school when Bill Gates visited the Philippines, right? It was a big, big event. I said, what if kaya one day magtrabaho sa Microsoft? Hindi yan, imposible yan. But never mind, diba? But, nothing is impossible, like I said. My idea na parang wishful thinking lang siya, no? But I know in my heart, maybe one day, kasi I was using Microsoft in school, and nagagalingan ako sa software namin but I didn't want technology, so I said, hindi, diba? But today, what do I have? I work for my dream company, which is Microsoft. I work closely with teachers, which is what I've always wanted to do. I am not a STEM expert and not a STEM practitioner, but I get to be part of a group that contributes to STEM and pushes STEM forward in the country. Not for myself, not for Microsoft, but for the students of Philippine education. And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it, right? I guess what I want.
Wow! Very well said.
Diba po ng puso, no? Kasi just imagine po, Ma'am Joy, Teacher Mardy, Miss Isang po kasi is working in one of the giant company, right? Microsoft, hindi basta-basta yan. Tapos, sa hindi po nakakaalam po, si Miss Isang po or si Miss Clarissa, siya po yung Microsoft Education Lead po. Palakpakan naman natin si Miss Isang.
Yay! Nakakatuwa. Kasi, marami po kasi tayong STEM students na nakatutok po ngayon. Kagabi, binraso ko na sila. Hindi, joke lang. In-encourage ko po sila talaga na tumutok po sa ating session this morning. Can you imagine? First speaker pa lang, talagang punong-puno na ang atin pong umaga. Thank you, Miss Isang. So, do we still have questions po from our viewers? Ayan, wag na po kayong mahiya dahil very much willing to answer po ang ating speaker this morning. At talagang mukhang na-inspired po talaga yung ating mga STEM students. Can you imagine, no, Ma'am Mardy, Ma'am Rubilin, yung viewers natin ngayon, hindi lang teachers, na-touch natin yung parents on how they will encourage their children to enroll in STEM. At ngayon, yung learners mismo, diba? So, nakakatawa itong session natin this morning. Thank you sa Microsoft. Ayan.
Pwede po ba kung
wala si Miss Isang, no? Ayan.
May question na po kay Miss Clarissa. Pwede po ba?
Okay.
Bigla ko lang naisip.
Go, ma'am. Ikaw pa ba?
Thank you po, Miss Joy. Kasi po, sabi nyo kanina, nag-remove kayo ng Microsoft hat. Gusto ko lang pong ibalik nyo lang po muna ulit yung Microsoft hat nyo. So, pakibalik na po.
Pakibalik po muna, Ma'am Isa.
At yung question ko po kasi is, in a Microsoft perspective, kasi ang dami nyo pong initiative supporting STEM. So, what is the value of STEM in our world today? Pero medyo bibigyan ko lang po ng medyo onting challenge. Medyo bibigyan ko lang po ng mga limit na mga 6 words. Microsoft perspective na Ano po yung value? Dahil ang dami yung initiative, DG Girls. This event po natin ngayon pa lang, di ba? Yung DG Girls, yung STEM Heroes. This is your initiative po as Microsoft Philippines. So, please give us your 6-word story before we end po our discussion.
Hey,
Okay, sorry, I'm confused. So just I can just give 6 words that are related to STEM.
Mhm.
Okay.
In the Microsoft perspective po. Kaya,
Yes.
Pang Miss Universe yan.
Right. There's of my
Go, Ma'am Isang.
baka nga 600 words gusto mo.
600. Medyo gusto ko po sana kaso medyo limited po yung time natin. Hindi po kakaya ang 3 hours dyan.
So seriously, when we look at STEM, these are the 6 words that come into my head as a lead for Microsoft Education Philippines programs. Employment, economic growth, computer science toolkit for teachers because that's new and that's what's coming soon. More opportunities for women. Sorry, that's more than 6 words, but that's one phrase. Opportunities for women. Inclusive education, accessibility.
Wow, thank you Miss Isang for those 6 parting words. So ayan, meron po tayong mga STEM students for sure. Sobra po silang na-inspire sa inyo. Bigyan naman po natin itong virtual club dyan si Miss Isang. Thank you po.
Thank you, Miss Isang. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much too. And can I add one last
Sure, ma'am.
before I go, una maraming salamat sa EdTech unit, an ICTS EdTech unit for organizing this. Congratulations, headed by Mark C. And we're working closely with Sir Mark Hamisal, Sir Mark Papa, and to all our Microsoft Education ambassadors who are continuously supporting this initiative, under EdTech unit and the partnership that we have as Microsoft Philippines. Ms. Rubilin and Ms. Glenny Lapping and to all our new ambassadors who just joined the EdTech unit. We're really happy and glad that you are here to help this movement of teacher scaling, rescaling, and student scaling move forward. Maraming salamat din sa lahat ng students who are watching today. I hope that you will continue to invest in yourself. You will continue to look at possible trainings and opportunities na binibigay sa inyo freely because that is your first step towards earning your skills, earning your competencies, and towards employability. So, importante yan. Lalo na ngayon na pag tiningnan natin yung trending ng skills natin, a few years from now, 50% of the jobs that are existing today will be automated already. It doesn't mean hindi na kailangan ng mga tao na i-hire to work, but it only means yung mga companies ngayon are looking for new skills. New skills. If you have a job today, learn new skills. If you are a student graduating and is looking for a job, invest in competencies that will give you relevant skills para yung kailangan ng industry mapunuan natin. Okay? I also want everyone to know that with our partnership with DepEd, may access ang lahat ng teachers at estudyante sa Office 365 licenses, Minecraft in Education licenses. You have access to free trainings and resources na later on i-share ng partner natin na si Audentes Technologies. That's it. And lastly, to all our parents, STEM or no STEM, continue to support your child's learning and growth. One example na example na nag-stick sa akin when someone was talking to me. Kung may problema na kailangan isolve yung mga anak natin, whether it's a life problem or a school-related problem na kailangan nilang gawing homework. As a parent, let's all think about this. Is our role to solve the problem for our children? Or is our role to help them stay longer in the problem? Let them figure it out so that they will have those skills needed to solve problems, whether they're doing this for school or doing this in life. Do we make them stay longer in the problem enough to let them solve it themselves? That's it. So thank you so much.
Wow, napakaganda ng ni Sisang. Nakakatuwa, nakakatuwa. Ang ganda. Ayan. So once again, thank you very much, Miss Isang, for having today po, this morning. So, Teacher Mardy, Ma'am Rubilin. Ayan.
Yes po. Once again, maraming salamat po, Miss Isa. Napapalaki po na naitulong po, lalo na po sa mga educators po, not just in DepEd, but sa buong bansa. Maraming salamat po, Miss Isa. Kasi kung wala kayo, wala ako dito ngayon, Miss Isa. I owe you that.
Yay! Thank you po.
Thank you so much.
Ayan. Thank you so much, Miss Isang. God bless you.
Ayan, so,
Ayan.
tayo ma'am, di ba? Ayan.
Okay. Yung ilan po nating viewers, they are asking about the certificate. So later po, ipopost po ng ating director yung pupuntahan po nating LMS kung paano po makakakuha ng inyo pong certificate this morning. Diba, Ma'am Rubilin?
Yes po.
Ayan.
We encourage everyone po na mag-join po sa gagawin natin ngayon, interactive activity. Yes, so please pakipunta po sa www.menti.com. Ayan, pakitype po ng www.menti.com para po makapag-interact po kayo sa gagawin po nating activity. Ayan, in a while, may lalabas dyan mamaya. At please po, kunin po ninyo yung code para makapag-join po kayong lahat. Ayan, Ma'am Joy, I know po yung mga fellow educators natin, yung mga learners, at lahat po na nandyan, they will participate po, di ba Ma'am Joy? Yes. Ayan. While waiting po sa...
Ayan. Okay.
Ayan.
So, while waiting for our next speaker, so let's have a poll muna kaya. Ma'am Rubilin, Teacher Mardy, what do you think?
Yes po. Yes
Of
po.
course. Gusto po natin yan.
Yeah. Kaya po, everyone, pakipunta po sa www.menti.com. So, yung Menti po yung spelling po, M-E-N-T-I.
M-E-N-T-I.
Yes, punta po kayo doon kasi user po kayo. Yan.
Okay.
So, nag-enjoy po tayo ha. We encourage you to participate po. Ayan. Mamaya, ma-flash na po yung screen po ng Mentimeter.
Ayan.
Ayan.
So we will have a poll. Ayan na. Sa ating mga fellow educators and learners. So, you type. So, pasok po tayo kay menti.com and here.
Ayan.
Ayan.
So, yes, pag nasa menti.com na po kayo, use the code 8786995. Ayan, ifa-flash po yan mamaya. Ayan.
Okay. So, paki-flash po ng ating code para ma-enter na po.
Yes. Ayan, may sumagot
na. Oo nga, meron na. May pumapasok na. So, you describe your familiarity with STEM.
Kasi Miss Joy, hindi kasi lahat familiar talaga sa STEM, no?
So far, ayan na. Nag-enter na sila. Like the back of my hand. Then, at least wala namang I have no idea. So far, meron tayong 83% like the back of my hand. Ayan na, umaandar na siya. This time, 14%. I heard but not interested. Pero tignan natin, tumataas na. 88% na. Ayan.
Actually po, kahit yung mga sumagot siya ng not interested, minsan po diyan nag-umpisa. Pero pag nakilala nila si STEM, doon nai-inspire po sila, Miss Joy, Miss Mardy.
Ayan, tumataas na.
Totoo po yan. Kaya nga po, wag po kayong mawawala sa ating event ngayon dahil tuloy-tuloy po namin para sa ating mga I heard but not interested. Itatry po talaga na at the end of our first webinar, hahanap-hanapin nyo pa po yan sa mga susunod. Yan po talaga ang goal. Yan po talaga ang gusto natin para tayo magkaroon ng change of interest.
Yes.
Para mas marami pong ma-inspire po, di ba?
Yeah.
Ayan. So, thank you very much. Ayan, for answering our poll. So, we truly appreciate your answers. That is why, para mas madagdagan pa yung 81% na yan. Yes.
Ma'am, may
Go.
mga nagtatanong
Go,
po
Teacher
ulit
Mardy.
ng code. May
Okay
nagtatanong
po.
po kasi ng code. So, ano nga po palit yung code natin?
So, code po ulit is
Opo.
87
87
86 na yan.
86995.
Ayan.
Yan.
Ayan.
At least, no, marami na ding nag-participate po.
Opo.
Ayan na. They're answering.
Ano po, napaka-interesting po ng susunod na topic, Miss Mardy, right?
Yes po. Siyempre, gusto natin talagang magkaroon tayo ng more inspiration, lalong-lalo na sa STEM. At patuloy lang po kayo sa pag-comment nyo sa ating chat box. At alive na alive talaga po ang ating umaga. So kung gusto niyo na po makita ang ating susunod na speaker, please naman po, i-type nyo sa ating chat box ang Girls in STEM para alam namin kung ready na kayo. Again,
so type in comment box.
Yes,
Girls
type
in
lang po.
STEM.
Girls in
Girls in STEM.
Yay!
Ano ba itong Girls in STEM? Yan po ang inyong keyword para po sa ating susunod na speaker. Girls in STEM.
Okay.
Yan. Kung ready na po kayo, ang atin pong susunod na speaker.
Go, Teacher Mardy! Introduce mo na ang ating next speaker.
Sure po. Ay isa rin pong teacher katulad nyo. She graduated magna cum laude from De La Salle University with bachelor's degree in secondary education, major in English. At a very young age, she already received awards such as Outstanding Thesis Award and Eduardo Coanca Jr. Award for Teaching Innovation. Sa kasulukuyan po, siya ay kumukuha ng master's degree in Educational Leadership and Management at Philippine Normal University. Isa po siya sa mga master trainer and academic specialist ng Odentes Technologies Inc. And she is a certified Microsoft Office specialist, associate and expert, Microsoft Innovative Educator Master Trainer, and Microsoft Certified Trainer. May we call Miss Mika or Teacher Mika, and let's give her our virtual applause.
Ayan, good morning po. Ayan, hello po sa inyong lahat. Nakita niyo po ba ako? Ayan, hello, kamay-kamay naman dyan. So, bawal pa kasi ngayon magkamay, magkita physical. So, kaway-kaway na lang po muna tayo mula ako sa Makati. Ayan, kanina si Teacher Rubilin from Lapu-Lapu. So, from all parts of the Philippines po, magkakasama pa rin po tayo online. So, yan. Kanina po nakikita ko po lahat ng mga kasama po natin dito. Ayan, lahat po ng mga schools kung saan po kayo galing, pati po sa mga regions kung saan po kayo nandoon ngayon. Ayan, good morning po sa inyong lahat. Ayan, so marami na po na yung natutunan kanina kay Miss Clarissa. And alam ko po na this time din po, sana po, marami rin po kayong matutunan. So salamat po sa introduction po ng ating mga host. Thank you po kay Teacher Rubilin, kay Teacher Mardy, and kay Teacher Joy. So sige, ready na po ba tayo sa ating topic for today? Sige, kung ready na po kayo, patuloy nyo lang po i-type yung Girls in STEM. Ayan, binabasa ko po yung mga chat nyo po dito. Ayan po. Ayan. So, salamat po sa mga nag-chat ng Girls in STEM. Ayan. Welcome na welcome po kayo lahat dito. Kahit po ang topic natin for today is about National Women's Month, welcome po namin lahat, pati po mga kalalakihan dito sa aming event na ito. So again, sa mga kapwa ko pong babae, happy national and actually international din pala to, no? Happy International Women's Month po sa inyong lahat. Ayan. Good morning po sa inyo. Yan. So ito pong buwan na to yung month of celebrating women. Kaya po nga nang sinabi ni Ms. Isang kanina, ito yung buwan na sineselebrate din po natin yung contributions and achievements ng mga kababaihan sa mundo ng STEM. So kinikilala natin ang mga fellow women natin, not just for what they do, but also for who they are. So kaya ngayon, gusto ko na isipin natin, tayo mga kababaihan, tayo ay matatapang, tayo ay malalakas, at tayo ay magagaling sa kahit anong field na nandoon tayo. So, kanina, in-introduce po ako ni Miss Mardy. Ayan, so, nabanggit niya po na dati po akong English teacher. So, ayan. So, baka magulat kayo na, hala, bakit ako nagsasalita about STEM? English teacher pala ako dati. Ayan. Pero, yung aking i-discuss po sa inyo ngayon ay galing sa kaibuturan po ng aking puso. And sana po maintindihan niyo po ang STEM from the perspective of someone na hindi naman nasa STEM field noon. Na 'di ba lagi nga po sinasabi, pag magaling daw po sa English, hindi raw po masyadong magaling sa math or sa science. Pag magaling naman daw po sa math at saka sa science, hindi raw naman daw po masyadong magaling sa English. Pero mamaya may mga ipapakita po ako sa inyo na mga scientists, mga chemists, na hindi lang sila basta sa field of science nag-excel, but also in other fields. So, ngayon naman, bago ako magsimula, gusto ko po munang malaman, meron po ba kayong kilala na babae na nasa STEM field? Yan. Sige nga, kung meron po kayo nakilala na babaeng nasa STEM field, pakitype nga naman po dyan sa ating chat box. Sige. Sino po yung babae na kilala nyo na nasa STEM field? Pwedeng someone na personal nyo pong kilala, pwedeng kaibigan nyo po or kamag-anak ninyo, or baka may nakita po kayo sa TV na nakilalang scientist or kahit sino po na nasa STEM field. Malawak naman po ang STEM field, kaya kahit ano pong majority or major nung tao na kilala po ninyo, pwede nyo po sabihin yan sa ating chat box. Sige po, kung friend nyo po siya, tag nyo po siya dito para mapanood niya rin tong event din na to. Kung sino po yung kilala nyo na babae sa STEM. Ayan, si Dr. Reyna Reyes. Okay. Yan, sa mga doctors po na kilala natin. Sino pa po? Baka may kilala pa po kayo na mga babae na nasa larangan ng STEM. Sige, type nyo lang po dyan. Gusto po naming malaman kung meron po kayong makilala. Okay? Or baka po yung iba sa inyo, baka po hindi po kayo familiar sa mga babae na nasa STEM field. Baka yung iba po sa inyo, wala po kayong kilala at all na nasa STEM field. Hindi nyo po siya nababasa sa internet or nakikita sa balita. And sa totoo lang po, hindi siya ganun nakakagulat na wala po tayong masyadong kilalang babae sa STEM field. Hindi dahil sa wala sila, pero dahil ang usual nakikita natin sa internet, 'di ba, sa balita ay puro mga male scientists. And even 'di ba ang traditional mindset natin is pag sa mga engineering courses or anything na STEM related na courses, puro lalaki yung pumapasok doon, 'di ba? Sabi nga nila parang pag may nakita silang babae sa engineering, parang, bakit nandito ka sa engineering, babae ka? Parang ganun yung traditional mindset natin. Pero gaya nga po ng quote na ito from Nichelle Nichols, who is a former NASA ambassador and also an actress, sabi po niya, science is not a boy's game. It's also not a girl's game. It's everyone's game. It's about where we are and where we're going. So, gaya po ng sinasabi ni Ms. Isang kanina, our goal is not to show you na STEM is just for girls. Okay? So, hindi natin sinasabi na dapat umalis na yung mga lalaki sa STEM field. Kasi sa totoo lang, sobrang proud na proud po tayo sa mga lalaki na nasa STEM field. And ganun din po sa mga babae na nasa ganung larangan. Ang gusto lang po natin ay magbigay ng equal opportunity sa lahat, whether lalaki or babae, kahit anong edad or kahit anong lahi. That's why science, it's everyone's game. So lahat po tayo ay pwedeng pumasok sa mundo ng STEM. Okay? So ayan, minabasa po ako ritong comment. STEM student from Lamian National High School. Ayan, hello po. Salamat po dahil nanonood po kayo, and sana by the end of this din po, pwede nyo pong sabihin sa mga kaibigan nyo, pwede po kayong maging encourager sa mga kaibigan ninyo na pumasok din sa STEM field. So lalo na ngayon na nasa 2021 na tayo. Diba sabi nga ni Nadine Lustre, come on guys, it's 2021. So sabi nga niya, diba, nasa makabagong panahon na tayo. So yung mga traditional mindset natin, yung mga kinaugalian nating belief about gender, diba, iba na siya ngayon. So ngayon, ang goal na natin sa education is education for all. So para po sa lahat. Kaya nga po, ito pong sa Girls in STEM, gusto po naming empower lahat ng mga kababaihan na pumasok sa field ng STEM and empower lahat ng nasa paligid ng mga kababaihan na ito na kayo rin po ang sumuporta sa ating mga girls in STEM. Okay po? Ayan. So, next po may papakita ko sa inyo na isang research. So itong research po na to ay gawa ni Dr. Shalini Kesar. Siya po ay isang associate professor sa Southern Utah University. So ginawa niya pong research na ito in collaboration with Microsoft. This is a Microsoft-sponsored research. And sinasabi niya po dito that for many years, girls and young women have been a critical missing part of STEM studies and careers. So gaya ng sabi ko kanina, napakaraming rason bakit ganun yung nangyayari. Bakit nga ba hindi pa ganun kilala ang mga babae sa field ng STEM. So pwedeng dahil sa lack of role models, lack of mentors, lack of awareness sa mga opportunities na binibigay ng STEM, or baka dahil sa dating mindset natin na ang science or ang STEM or ang math ay hindi para sa babae. Okay? Pero, nakikita nyo nga po dito sa ating screen ngayon, yan, mas mataas, based do sa research na ginawa po nila, sa survey na ginawa po nila, mas mataas ang bilang ng mga babae, mga girls and young women. So that's from grades 5 to 12 and ages 18 to 30. So mas marami raw po ang walang kilalang babae sa STEM profession. Nakikita nyo po dito sa screen nyo, 36% lang at 44% lang ang may kilala na babae sa STEM profession. And this can affect our motivation and confidence to pursue the STEM field. Kasi alam naman natin na mahalaga na magkaroon tayo ng tao na tinitingala natin, nagagayahin natin yung mga yapak in the future. Diba? Katulad ng, siguro yung mga STEM students dyan na makaka-relate kayo, lalo na yung mga K-pop fans. Diba? Sa mundo ng K-pop, meron tayong tinatawag na bias. Diba? Meron tayong yung ultimate na favorite natin na K-pop idol. And yun yung parang ginagawa nating role model. Yun yung sinusundan natin lagi. And it's the same thing with STEM. Kailangan meron po tayong role models na kinikilala. Okay? And so, here in our next slide, makikita nyo po dito, ano ba yung impact ng female role models? So the results show that girls who know a woman in a STEM profession are substantially more likely to feel more empowered when they engage in STEM activities than those who don't. And also, mas naiintindihan nila kung paano mag-pursue ng STEM career and kung gaano ka-relevant ang STEM at kung ano ang mga trabaho na pwede nilang gawin through STEM. So ganyan kahalaga na magkaroon tayo ng mga role models. And also, sa mga teachers, sa mga parents, sa mga tao sa paligid ng mga batang babae na to, we need to be their role models. Okay? So we need to expose them. So ang ating insight number 1 is to provide role models. Okay? So, para maengganyo sila na pumasok sa STEM field, kailangan nila na makita yung mundo ng STEM mula sa mata ng someone na nandun sa field na yon. From someone na pwede nilang tingalain, 'di ba? Kaya nga po, yung mga scientists na meron tayo, nakikita nyo po yung life story, biography nila sa internet. Nakikita nyo rin po yung mga contribution nila sa balita. So, pwede po nating ipakita sa kanila yon. Expose natin sila sa mga ganong true life stories. And even, for example, may mga movies or mga documentaries kayo na napapanood or TV series that are related to STEM and women. Pwede po nating pakita sa kanila yon to show them na it's possible. Pwede siya. And you know what? Yung ganong klaseng mindset na yung alam nila na pwedeng-pwede, na kayang-kaya nila, yun yung magmo-motivate sa kanila to pursue the field of STEM, to pursue their dreams. Dahil nga, when we say to fuel their passion, kailangan i-spark mo muna yung interest nila. And paano mo i-spark yung interest nila? You must first build their awareness, 'di ba? So kailangan alam muna nila, 'di ba? Para magustuhan nila na pumasok doon. Alright? So we need to give them role models. That's why earlier I was asking you if you know anyone from the STEM field. Kasi nga, ganun siya kahalaga. Kailangan meron tayong not only role models but also mentors na tutulong sa atin. Okay? So, there. So, meron pa akong isa pang quote dito. Yan. So, this quote is from Karen Nyberg. She's an engineer, astronaut, and textile artist. So, di ba? Ang gaya ng sabi ko kanina, hindi lang dahil basta nasa STEM field ka, yun lang yung kaya mong gawin. Napakarami pang talent nitong mga female scientists na to and female in the STEM field. So, isa rin po siyang artist. And ano yung naging inspiration niya? Sabi niya dito, when I was in high school, I was certain that being an astronaut was my goal. It was a very important time. Sally Ride was making her first flight into space and she had a real impact on me. Those firsts kind of stick in your head and really become inspirations for you. So meron siyang isang tao na tiningala. Meron siyang isang tao na nakita lang. Nakita lang naman yan siguro sa balita. 'Di ba? Pero dahil nakita niya yung contribution ni Sally Ride, doon siya na-inspire. And sino nga ba itong sinasabi natin si Sally Ride? Si Sally Ride ay isang American astronaut and physicist. And she was the third woman in space. Ayan. So, napakarami niya ring contributions. And actually, siya daw ang youngest, pinakabata na American astronaut to have traveled in space. So, nakaka-inspire yun, di ba? Lalo na sa mga bata. Pag nakita nila na someone na from their age, di ba? Lalo na sa mga high school and senior high school students, someone from their age kayang gawin yun. So, dito sa base sa story ni Karen, makikita natin na yung mga bagay na yun, yun yung nagsistick sa utak nila. And yun yung magiging stepping stone nila towards their dream. So, ganun gagawin natin. Papakita natin sa kanila sino tong mga scientists na ito, sino tong mga, ano yung mga trabaho na pwede nilang magawa sa STEM. And from that exposure and awareness na nakukuha nila, pwede po silang mas lalo pang maging interested. Diba? Magkakaroon sila ng yung tinatawag nating intrinsic motivation para mag-pursue ng STEM field. Right? So, ayun. So, in another result ng research, so sabi dito, what do girls and young women say about themselves? Ano yung sinasabi ng mga girls and young women about sa sarili nila? So, bago natin tingnan tong results na to, gusto ko po munang malaman. Kayo po, sige, type nyo po sa comment. What is that one word that best describes you? Sige, bigay po kayo ng isang salita na nagde-describe ng sarili ninyo. Paano nyo po tinitingnan ang sarili nyo? What do you say about yourself? Sige, kahit hindi po sa mga kababaihan, kahit sino po pwede mag-chat, kahit sino po pwede mag-type dito sa comments natin. Nagbabasa po ako dito. Give one word that best describes you. Okay? So, gusto kong malaman, ano ba yung pwedeng tingin nyo ba sarili nyo? Kayo po ay smart? Kayo po ba ay artistic? Kayo po ay talented? Techie? Or baka po mahiyain po kayo? Or matapang? Ayan. Ano po yung word na nasa isip nyo ngayon? Ayan, gusto ko yung word na yan, explorer. Ayan, Sir Ray po ay isang explorer. Si Ma'am Michelle po ay inherently curious. Ayan, napakahalagang bagay po yan, lalo na sa isang pwedeng maging scientist, yung pagiging curious. Ayan, so si Ma'am Aquilina naman po ay patient. So another important value for anyone in the STEM field, kailangan po patient tayo. Sige po, mag-type pa po kayo dyan. Ano pa po yung word na dinidescribe nyo yung sarili nyo? One word or even one phrase? Ayan. Ako po personally, ang dinidescribe sa akin before was Jack of all trades. Pero hindi maganda yung masyado yung kasunod na yun. Jack of all trades, master of none. Pero maganda bagay rin yan kasi ibig sabihin marami kang kayang gawin, di ba? So, ayun. So, maraming field na pwedeng pasukin. Kaya siya Jack of all trades or pagbabayo, Jill of all trades siguro pwede. Ayan. So, si Ma'am Kyla naman po ay adventurous. Si Ma'am Zaira ay artistic. Ayan. Ito po yung mga kapwa kong artist. Ayan. Kung hindi nyo po matatanong ay artist din po. Ayan. Artist din po ako. Pero lang, sa bahay-bahay lang. Ayan. So, si Ma'am Zaira ay also isang wanderer. Ayan. Si Ma'am Lina ay open-minded. Ayan. Si Ma'am Karen ay persistent. And yes, sa ating DepEd EdTech unit, determined. So, itong mga bagay na to, natingin niyo po sa sarili ninyo. Bakit kaya siya mahalaga? Bakit mahalaga kung ano yung iniisip mo tungkol sa sarili mo? Bakit? Dahil, ito, ginawa ko lang quote to. Hindi ko alam kung baka may makita kayo sa internet na ganito, pero gawa-gawa ko lang to. Pwede niyong i-take note to. What we see and say about ourselves matter because we become what we declare and behold. So, kung ano yung sinasabi at nakikita natin tungkol sa sarili natin, pag umaharap tayo sa salamin, ano yung sinasabi mo sa sarili mo? Ano yung nakikita mo sa sarili mo? Yun yung magiging ikaw. Kung ano yung sinasabi mo, kung ano yung feel mo sa sarili mo, yun yung magiging ikaw. Magre-reflect yun sa'yo. Mag-manifest yun sa personality mo, sa attitude mo, sa work ethics mo. Kaya mahalaga na positive yung nakikita natin sa ating sarili. Yan. So, si Ma'am Elena po ay trying hard. That's good. Ako din po, feel ko, yung isang bagay din po na masasabi ko sarili ko din yun. Parang trying hard din po ako. Gusto ko po talaga yung try ng kahit may hirap na bagay. Yan. So, positive po yan. And also, si Ma'am Feby din po ay determined. Yan. So, ito mga sinasabi po natin about ourselves. Minsan, parang natatabunan siya na kung ano yung sinasabi ng ibang tao tungkol sa atin. Diba? Parang natatakot tayo. Diba? Na, naku, mas importante yung sinasabi nila. May 5 tao na nagsasabi na hindi ko kaya. Pero ikaw sa sarili mo mismo, kaya mo sabihin sa sarili mo na ako kaya ko. Magagawa mo siya. Promise yun. Promise talaga yun. Promise yun. Based from my experience, siguro share ko na lang din, no? So, marami pa naman tayong time. Magkwentuhan na lang po muna tayo. So, ako po, based experience ko, gaya po ng sabi ni Miss Mardy kanina sa introduction niya, graduate po ako ng De La Salle University, Manila. So, masasabi ko na destiny ko siya, pero hindi ko na-realize na destiny ko siya nung nandun pa ako sa college or nung high school pa lang ako. Wala yun sa isip ko dati. Dati hindi naman ako nag-iisip na magka-college ako or anything. Kasi po hindi naman ako galing sa napakayaman na pamilya. So, lalo na yung pagpasok sa De La Salle University, alam naman po natin na mahal yung tuition fee doon. Diba? Pero nung high school po ako po ay galing sa Makati High School. Baka po may teacher dyan na galing sa Makati High School. Hello po sa inyo. Ayan. So, nung nasa Makati High School po ako, may nakita akong poster. Nakalagay dun sa poster na yon, mag-aaral, ano yan? Ako mag-aaral sa Lasal? Pwede. As in, napakalaki ng poster na yon. Ako mag-aaral sa Lasal? Pwede. So, araw-araw, yun yung dinadaanan namin kasi nasa hallway yun. So, yun din yung lagi ko nababasa. Hindi naman siya pumapasok sa isip ko pa, pero lagi ko siyang nababasa. Ako mag-aaral sa Lasal? Pwede. Parang noon na tinatawanan ko pa na parang, ang mahal-mahal dun eh. Wala kaming pambayad dun. Pero, dahil lagi ko siya nakikita, dahil gaya na sabi ko kanina, lagi ako na-expose, mas lalo akong naging aware na kaya ko. So, dahil doon, nag-apply ako. So, nag-apply ako sa Lasal and nakakuha po ako ng scholarship doon. So, sa buong stay ko po sa Lasal, wala po akong binayaran na kahit anong tuition fee or miscellaneous fee. Diba? And, lahat yun, blessing yun ng Diyos. Pero, blessing niya din na nagkaroon ng poster doon, 'di ba? Na nagkaroon ako ng awareness na kayang-kaya kong pumasok doon sa Lasal. And hindi ako nag-math teacher or science teacher, English major po yung kinuha ko doon. Pero I can say na this is also applicable sa STEM field. Okay? Kung lagi nating ina-expose ang mga bata, lagi nating sinasabi na kaya mo maging scientist, kaya mo maging astronaut, kaya mong maging engineer, kaya mo maging science or math teacher, gagawin po nila yon. Magkakaroon sila ng motivation to do that. Okay. So, another story. Sige, marami akong baon na story today. So, meron akong tinuruan dati sa isang public school. Ano pa lang po ako doon? Student teacher. Okay, baka po may mga student teacher din po nanonood dyan. Hello po sa inyo. So, nung student teacher po ako, may isang bata doon na hindi talaga siya nakikinig. Ayaw niya talaga makinig. Parang minsan di ba nakakawala ng pasensya yun sa teacher na parang, bakit ayaw mo makinig? Minsan pa nga, iikot-ikot siya sa loob ng classroom na nakaganon yung kamay niya, nakaganyan. Kasi feel niya siya si Amihan, si Reyna Amihan, sa Encantadia. So, lagi siya nagaganon-ganon. So, parang naisip ko, bakit wala siyang pinapasang kahit ano, hindi siya nakikinig. So, nung isang beses, kinausap ko siya. At kinausap ko siya sa buong klase sa harap ng buong klase. Parang tinatanong ko lang siya, kamusta ka na? Parang gusto ko lang malaman na, ba't hindi ka pa nagpapasa? Pero hindi ko tinatanong ng diretso na, ba't hindi ka pa nagpapasa ng kahit ano? Ba't parang wala kang sinasubmit na kahit ano? May kamusta ka na? Parang wala lang sa kanya. Ma'am, busy ako lang ganyan eh. So, ang dami niyang excuse sa akin. So, sinabi ko lang sa kanya na, okay, sige, naintindihan ko naman. Alam ko naman na matalino ka. Nakikita ko yun. So, inisa-isa ko yung mga bagay na feel ko, nakikita ko na matalino siya. Kasi nakakabisado niya yung mga linya sa Encantadia. Diba na may memorize niya yun? Ibig sabihin, maganda yung memorization skills niya. Kaya sabi ko, matalino ka naman kasi kaya mo i-memorize yung mga lines na yun. Gusto mo mag-artista ka kasi kaya mo mag-memorize ng napakahabang mga storya at mga script. Kung matalino kang bata, konting push lang sinasabi sa kanya. Konting bagay lang, sige kahit simulan mo lang ng unang word lang ng essay mo. Sige, tutulungan kita. Basta gawin lang natin, magkasama tayo. Kasi alam ko namang matalino ka. Alam mo, nagulat ako nun. Bigla siyang umiyak. Nagulat din ako. Bigla siyang umiyak. Akala ko may nasabi akong mali. Kasi tinatry kong maging patient, pero sobrang medyo masama na rin yung loob ko nun na wala siya talagang ginagawa sa klase ko nun. Pero, yun yung tinatry kong sabihin sa kanya, positive lang, positive. Matalino ka, kaya mo yan, magaling ka. And alam mo, may isang estudyante doon, kaklase niya na nagsabi, Ma'am, ikaw ang una, ikaw lang ang nagsabi sa kanya na matalino siya. Biro mo yun, kung sa buong buhay ng bata na yun, let's say, 11 years old, 12 years old na siya. Kung sa buong 11 years ng buhay niya, wala pang nagsasabi sa kanya na matalino siya. Anong may isip niya sa sarili niya? Diba? So, tayo din, bilang mga teachers, and sa mga parents po na nandito, although hindi naman ako parent po, no? Pero dahil tayo po yung nakikita nilang authority, tayo yung lagi nilang kasama sa bahay, sa buhay nila, 'di ba? So tayo po, meron tayong responsibility na tulungan silang mag-reflect ng sarili nila at mag-isip ng positive tungkol sa sarili nila. So, kahit maliit na bagay lang na kaya mo yan, pwedeng-pwede yan sa'yo, matalino ka, magaling ka, artistic ka. Pag naririnig po nila yun sa inyo, yun din po yung matatanim sa puso at isip nila. And in the future, yun na po yung magiging tingin nila sa sarili nila. So kung kanina yung sinasabi nyo po na sa tingin nyo po sarili nyo, kayo po ay determined, kayo po ay open-minded, kayo ay adventurous, kayo ay patient, kayo ay explorer, kayo ay curious. Itong mga words na to, pwede nating sabihin to sa mga estudyante natin para in the future, sila naman yung magsasabi nun tungkol sa kanilang sarili. Dahil nga, sabi ko kanina, yung quote ko kanina, what we see and say about ourselves matter because we become what we declare and behold. Right? Kaya po yung susunod nating insight, ayan, so insight number 2, sa ating next slide, we need to generate excitement. Okay? So kung gusto natin na tumaas ang perception ng mga bata tungkol sa sarili nila, kailangan nating mag-generate ng excitement. And paano natin gagawin yun? Bibigyan natin sila ng positive perception ng sarili nila at positive perception ng STEM. Okay? Kasi kunyari, kaya na nila, naisip may positive perception na sila sa sarili nila, pero takot pa rin sila sa STEM. Kasi meron silang mga traditional mindset na, naku, yung STEM nakakatakot yan, yung math mahirap yan, yung science masyadong madaming kinakabisado dyan. So, pag ganun pa rin yung perception, syempre may hirapan pa rin po sila na magkaroon ng motivation. So, pareho yon. Kailangan may positive perception tungkol sa sarili nila at positive perception tungkol sa STEM. So, yung vision na magkaroon ng sense of fulfillment sa STEM and in the future, ang makakapagbigay ng excitement sa kanila. So, dapat pakita natin sa kanila na kaya mo mag-contribute sa mundo. Diba? Kasi lahat tayo naghahanap ng purpose natin sa buhay, ano? Ano ba ang rason bakit ako nandito sa mundong to? Diba yun yung question natin lagi. And as a social being, diba? Dahil nandito tayo sa mundo, marami tayong kasama sa paligid natin, na tayo ay nabubuhay, hindi lang para sa sarili natin, kundi para sa mundo din. At yun yung magandang bagay sa STEM. Kasi pinapakita sa STEM na hindi tayo nabubuhay para lang i-keep yung knowledge sa sarili natin, but also to share that knowledge, mag-innovate, mag-create ng mga bagong bagay para mag-contribute sa changes sa mundo na to. Kasi kung meron nga kayong, nakita nyo may potential yung bata na maging scientist, pero kinip nyo lang siya, hindi nyo siya hinayaang mag-explore, hindi nyo siya hinayaang sumali sa mga webinar na ganito or sa mga workshop na tungkol sa STEM, paano niya ma-share yung knowledge niya sa mundo? Paano niya makikita kung ano yung purpose niya sa mundong ito? So, ganun na po ang gagawin natin. We need to generate excitement. Okay? Ayan. So, next po tayo. Meron lang naman po tayong 5 insights. So, for this insight, ito po yung quote na gusto kong i-share sa inyo. This is from Fabiola Gianotti. And so, Italian experimental particle physicist. And she's also the first woman Director General at CERN. So, ito yung European Organization for Nuclear Research sa Switzerland. So, napakataas ang posisyon niya sa organization na to. And napakarami na niyang contributions dito. So, anong sinasabi niya dito? This job is a great scientific adventure, but it's also a great human adventure. Mankind has made giant steps forward. However, what we know is really very, very little compared to what we still have to know. So, marami ng bagay na na-discover. Tama po, no? Marami na tayong na-explore sa mundong ito. Ang dami ng scientific discoveries. Pero, habang nabubuhay tayo, habang may tao dito sa mundo, patuloy ang adventure natin na to. Dahil marami pa tayong makikita, marami pa tayong kailangang malaman. Hindi mauubos yung mga bagay na kailangan nating matutunan. Dahil nga, di ba, learning is lifetime. Habang buhay yan. Di ba? So, tayo, kahit teachers na tayo, kahit parents na tayo, kahit ilang taon pa tayo, patuloy lang yung pag-aaral natin. And it's the same with kids. Pag nakita nila na ang learning ay patuloy lang, ang pag-discover, ang pag-explore sa science and sa mundo ng STEM ay patuloy-patuloy lang, magkakaroon sila ng excitement na parang sa susunod na araw, may bago akong ma-explore, may bago akong makikita, may bago akong makikreate. So, ganun ang napakagandang mundo ng STEM. Right? So, next result tayo. Tingnan natin yung next result ng research. Nasa isang research pa rin to, no? Buong buo yung research na to. Kompleto siya ng information. So, based sa research na to, 31% lang ng mga babae na na-interview niya ang sumasali sa extracurricular STEM clubs at activities. Grabe no, ang baba, no? 31% lang ang sumasali na babae sa STEM clubs. And ako, honestly, yan ang bagay na iniwasan ko talaga nung high school ako at nung elementary ako. Hindi ako sumasali sa kahit anong STEM-related noon. Okay? Once ata, sumali ako sa isang math quiz bee. Pero dahil sobrang na-intimidate ako sa mga kagrupo ko sa math quiz bee, hindi na ako nagtuloy. Hindi ko na tinuloy-tuloy yung ganung club and ganung activities. So, ganun din pala dito sa research na to, 31% lang yung sumasali. And nakita niya, dun sa 31% na yun, 41% na mas mataas ang tsansa na maintindihan nila yung mga trabaho na pwede nilang pasukin at yung mga bagay na maaari nilang gawin sa STEM kapag sumasali sila sa STEM clubs. So kahit konti lang itong mga babae na to, itong mga babae na 31% na to, mas mataas yung tsansa na pumasok sila sa STEM dahil mas naiintindihan nila through the activities and clubs na sinalihan nila. So, ano ba yung benefit ng learning of STEM outside the classroom? So, tingnan natin ang susunod na result ng research. So, what is the benefit? So, they become more empowered and knowledgeable about how to pursue a STEM career than those who are not in STEM clubs or activities. And sa totoo lang, based on experience din to, dahil hindi ako sumasali sa mga STEM clubs at activities, ang baba ng perception ko noon tungkol sa STEM. Takot na takot ako sa math noon. Takot na takot ako sa mga mathematical equation, mga science, lalo na science. Siguro, weird, no? Pero yung ibang tao mas natakot sa math kaysa sa science. Pero ako mas takot ako sa science kaysa sa math. Hindi ko alam bakit. Wala ko masyado naiintindihan ng bata pa ako sa science. And even sa technology. Hindi ako magaling nun sa technology. Ang pagkakaalala ko nga yung Facebook ko, hindi ako gumawa nun eh. Yung mama ko ata yung gumagawa ng Facebook ko dati. Buti pa nga yung mama ko magaling sa technology nun. Pero ako talaga, mahina ako sa mga ganyang bagay. Ano yung mas gusto ko dati? Mga literature, magbasa, magsulat, magpainting, ganun yung mga gusto kong bagay. And nagkaroon ako ng mindset nun na pag meron kang creative mind, hindi ka pwedeng magkaroon ng logical mind. Na parang pag magaling ka sa English, hindi ka pwedeng maging magaling sa math. Dapat isa lang. Pero, sabi nga dito, kailangan lahat ng mga bata, mabigyan natin ng equal opportunity. Kahit na feel nila hindi sila magaling sa math or sa science. Kahit feel nila more on the artistic side sila. Pero, pag binigyan natin sila lahat ng opportunity na mag-explore ng mga STEM activities at clubs, may kita nila na ang science pala, ang math pala, could be applied everywhere. Okay? And this is something that I learned when I was in college already. Meron akong isang teacher, isang professor, na bata pa siya. Tapos yung math subject namin, medyo kakaiba siya kasi hindi siya yung college algebra na kinatatakutan ng marami sa college. More on application. Biro mo math class yun pero pinagluto niya kami. Parang pinahanap niya kami ng recipe. Tapos kailangan times 4 namin yung recipe na yun. Tapos tinuruan niya kami paano laging manalo sa tic-tac-toe. Tsaka paano sagutan yung sudoku. Mga ganong bagay na parang, talaga? Connected pala yun sa mga mathematical principles. And yung ibang mga tinuturo niya pa na about sa science. Diba? Ganun pala yun, di ba? So kung biruin mo kung nagawa ko yun, naranasan ko yun nung mas bata pa ako, siguro baka trinay ko na mag-STEM field po, no? And yung mga ganong experiences are very important for kids especially. And I think si Miss Mardy, yung host natin kanina, mag-agree siya dito, no, na important na yung experiences, learning experiences, ibibigay natin sa mga bata habang bata pa sila. Diba? So, sige, tingnan po natin ano yung insight number 3 natin. Alright? So, provide hands-on experience. So, kailangan bibigyan natin sila ng pagkakataon na explore yung mga activities na related to STEM. Katulad nung dati, ang isa palang reason ba't hindi ako din masyado nahilig sa STEM. Nung bata ako, mahilig akong magkalikot ng kung ano-ano. Lahat ginagalaw ko. Preschool yun preschool po yun. So, nung preschool, mga kinder, na pa ba yung sunod dun? Prep pala yun, prep. So, marami dong parang mga STEM-related activities. So, meron dong mga laruan, mga feel natin, mga laruan lang, pero yun pala, may tinuturo na sa ating something yun about science. So, lagi ako nagagawa ng ganun. Kaso, may isang beses na hindi ko na siya ginawa ever ulit dahil nabasag ko yung isang pitchel doon. Kasi parang ginagamit siya for an experiment something. So, nabasa ko isang pitchel doon. So, hindi na ako ulit nagtuloy ng gano'n. So, sobrang takot ko na magkamali ako. Pero, yun nga, if nagpatuloy siguro ako noon, if nabigyan ako ng encouragement na, sige, okay lang yan. Okay lang yan, kaya natin yan. Tuloy lang tayo. Kung nabigyan lang ako ng mas maraming experiences, even sa elementary or sa high school, siguro, mas maaga akong pumasok sa STEM field. No? And, lalo na nung mga time na yon, wala pa namang masyadong internet noon, hindi pa naman siya ganun ka boom noon, no? Hindi naman siya sobrang years ago. Nag-grade 1 ako 2003. So, ano na yun? 2000s na yun. Pero we know that during that time, hindi pa naman ganun ka-boom yung internet, unlike now, na as in, halos lahat ng bata may hawak na cellphone and tablet and nakakapanood sa internet. Pero ngayon na meron silang ganong mga resources na madali nilang makuha, pwede nating gamitin yun na exposure sa kanila sa STEM. Okay? So, kanina sinabi ni Ms. Isang yun na ngayon na mas marami na tayo, mas advanced na yung technology, pwede nang manood sa YouTube. Pwede na tayong magbasa ng mga post sa Facebook about STEM. Diba? Ito nga po pinapanood yung live stream ngayon, nasa Facebook lang. Pero nung dati, lalo na before the pandemic, kailangan natin pumunta sa school, mag-gather tayo sa isang place. Tama po ba? Tapos, kunyari, merong event dito sa ganitong araw, sa Luzon, susunod na isang araw sa Visayas naman, susunod na araw sa Mindanao naman. Kumaga magkakahiwalay po tayo, no? Pero ngayon, kita nyo naman po, from different parts of the Philippines, meron tayong from Davao del Norte, from Calapan City, from Panabo City Division. Dami, di ba? Daming lugar. So ngayon, magkakasama tayo ngayon sa isang place dahil sa technology. And so, ang beauty nito is that kahit sino, kahit saan, kahit kailan, pwede tayong matuto about STEM. And so, we need to give them more opportunities, especially sa preschool pa lang, kasi yun yung critical period of development ng mga bata. So, dun pa lang mag-start na tayo na magbigay sa kanila ng iba-ibang activities. And also, pwede natin silang ipasok sa mga clubs or organizations na related sa STEM. Right? So, bigyan pa natin sila ng more experience. So, siguro sa inyo, yung iba sa inyong mga teachers po dyan, baka po pwede kayo mag-start ng sarili nyong STEM club kahit po na nasa pandemic po tayo ngayon. No? Start po tayo ng STEM organization para sa mga bata. And I think, pag nakita po nila itong mga bagay na pwede nilang gawin, grabe yung magiging response and interest nila. Alright? So, there. So, another quote that I want to show you by Rosalind Franklin. So, isa to sa pinakakilala dahil isa siya sa key figures na nag-unlock ng structure ng human DNA. So, napakarami niyang naging contribution. So, importanteng research niya po yung about sa DNA. Isa po siyang chemist and molecular biologist. So, sabi niya dito, science and everyday life cannot and should not be separated. Dahil hindi man natin siya na-realize, pero yung science ay nasa lahat ng parte ng buhay natin, nasa kahit anong aspect natin. So sabi nga ni Miss Ams dito, no, ni Ma'am Ams, hello po. Hands-on experience is indispensable in science teaching. Tama po yan. Kahit nga po sa English class, yan, importante din na magkaroon ng hands-on experiences. Kaya nga usually, nung nag-English teacher po ako noon, hindi ako nag-focus sa mga essay, ganyan. Ako lang po at nakita ko pa, nag-English class kami, pero ang pinagawa ko sa kanila, science experiment. So, ang purpose nun is reading comprehension. So, para dapat maintindihan nila yung instructions dun sa science experiment na yun. And then, from the first science experiment na ginawa nila sa English class ko, na nag-follow sila ng instructions one by one for reading comprehension, the next part naman of the experiment is kailangan sila naman magsulat ng sarili nilang instructions. Ganon yung ginawa ko po sa English class ko dati. So, imagine po, no, if na-integrate natin ang science and math sa lahat ng subjects, napakagandang bagay po nun. So, even for example, sa PE, pwede tayo siguro mag-discuss ng mga topics about physics, no? Especially pag sports na yung pinag-uusapan natin. Or, ano pa ba yung mga subject? Sa history din. Diba? Pakita natin yung mga historical figures or scientists and everybody in the field of STEM na pwede po nilang gawing role model. So, these subjects can be integrated with one another kasi yun nga po yung sinasabi natin na yung science nasa lahat naman ng parte ng ating buhay. And so, in every topic, in every lesson that we have, we need to provide them hands-on experience so that they can see for themselves as well. Okay? So, yun. So, next po natin, next na result ng ating research, sabi po dito, who encourages girls in STEM? So, makikita nyo po, meron tatlong tao dito. We have si teacher, si nanay, at si tatay. So, anong observation natin dito? So, mas mataas ng bahagya si teacher, yung encouragement na binibigay ni teacher kesa dun sa mom. And medyo mababa or less than kalahati yung mga tatay na nagbibigay ng encourage sa mga anak nila. So it's important, it's our responsibility to give them support and guidance. So based nga dito sa research na nakikita natin, dahil itong mga tao na to, yung pinakalaging kasama ng mga bata, ito yung dapat na nag-guide sa kanila. Okay, ito yung mga unang-una nilang role models. And bakit sila kailangan bigyan ng encouragement? So, tingnan natin yung ating next result. So, sabi dito sa next one is, what difference does encouragement make? Ano bang epekto ng pagbibigay ng encouragement? So, lumabas sa research na ang mga babae na hinihikayat ng kanilang mga magulang ay 81% na mas mataas ang tsansa na sabihing mag-aaral sila ng computer science sa high school kaysa sa mga babae na hindi binigyan ng encouragement. At 3 beses na mas mataas ang tsansa na sabihin nilang mag-aaral sila ng computer science sa college naman kapag parehong teacher at saka parent yung nagbibigay sa kanila ng support. Diba alam natin yan as teachers, importante na meron tayong coordination and cooperation with parents. Diba? Mas lalong nagiging smooth ang ating teaching load, ng ating learning experience kapag alam natin na sinusuportahan ng mga parents ang kanilang mga anak kahit sa bahay. And lalo na ngayon, diba? During the pandemic, yung mga bata ay nasa bahay nag-aaral dahil nga po sa social distancing, sa mga quarantine protocols, kailangan nasa bahay lang po sila lagi. So, it's either nagpo-modular po kayo or nag-online classes. So, kahit ano pong mode of teaching and learning na ginagawa po natin ngayon, it's important na parehong teachers at parents ang nagbibigay ng suporta. Equal support. dun sa ating estudyante para makita niya na kahit anong environment na puntahan niya, meron siyang nakukuha na guidance. Alright? So, parehong positive yung nakukuha niya from parents and teachers. Okay? And so, our insight number 4 is provide encouragement. So, kanina medyo na-tap ko na to sa iba kong mga topics, no? Pero ang encouragement, like what I always say kanina, kailangan manggaling siya hindi lang from parents or hindi lang from teachers, dapat from both teachers and parents. Dahil yun nga, majority ng buhay natin, nasa bahay, school tayo, lalo na sa mga bata. So, kailangan po talaga na yung mga tao sa paligid nila would help them, would nurture them, kung ano yung potential nila. So, kunyari, ikaw as parent po, makita nyo pong may potential yung bata sa STEM. So, pwede nyo pong sabihin kay teacher yon. Para si teacher, magbibigay siya ng mas marami pang STEM activities dun sa bata na yun para mas ma-nurture pa siya. Or si teacher naman, makita niyang may potential yung bata sa STEM, pwede niya sabihin kay parent. Para si parent, pwede siyang magawa ng STEM activities sa bahay na pwede niyang gawin with the kids. So, ganun. It's a working relationship between the parents and the teachers. And so, next one, another encouragement that we could give is this quote. I love this quote so much. It says here, don't let anyone rob you of your imagination, your creativity, or your curiosity. It's your place in the world. It's your life. Go on and do all you can with it and make it the life you want to live. So, lagi yan sabihin sa mga bata natin, sa mga anak natin, lalo na sa mga batang babae, mga young women, na huwag nilang hayaan na merong iba na magnakaw ng imagination nila, ng creativity nila. Sa kanila yon, they can own it. You can own it. Okay? Meron kang place sa world na to make changes, to give contributions. And so, gamitin natin yung buhay natin to be like this person, si Mae Jemison, na hindi lang siya basta chemist at biologist, isa rin siyang linguist. Diba? Sabi nga kanina, pwede kang maging magaling sa science at saka English at the same time. And isa rin po siyang humanitarian. And what's more notable about her is that she's also the first African-American woman astronaut in space. So, diba? So, pag nakita ng mga bata na itong mga tao na to, like, lalo na yung mga life story nila, alam naman natin yung discrimination regarding sa color, sa race, at sa gender, lalo na nung unang panahon. So, mas malala talaga siya nung unang panahon. Pero, makikita niyo sa story ni Mae Jemison, diba, na kinaya niya, nalagpasan niya lahat ng challenges na yun. Hindi niya hinayaan na may magnakaw ng imagination at creativity niya, lalo na ng curiosity niya. So, with that, yung story niya, at pwede natin gamitin na encouragement sa mga bata. Okay po? So, next, I think ito na yung last nating insight. Yan, so last insight natin. Before the last insight, ito muna ang result about are girls embarrassed to ask questions in STEM class? Part ata ako nitong numbers dito dati. Pero dati pa yun. So sabi dito, girls feel embarrassed to ask questions in their STEM and computer science classes kasi feel nila sila lang hindi nakakaintindi nung lesson or nung learning material. And itong tendency na to are more prevalent among girls na hindi ina-encourage ng parents nila at ng teachers nila. And lalo na yung mga hindi nagpa-participate sa STEM club or activity. So nakita nyo po, mas mataas yung percentage na embarrassed sila sa klase nila kapag hindi sila nagpa-participate sa mga STEM activities. And yung mga students na may ganitong mindset, dinadoubt nila yung ability nila to grow. So if they don't know something right away, baka hindi nila embrace yung learning na nangyayari when they're trying to discover or figure something out. So here in our next slide, how girls view themselves in STEM classes. So makita nyo po, mababa yung percentage, 37% lang, na mga middle and high school girls. Ang sa tingin nila sa sarili nila, isa sila sa smartest students sa class. Pero 50% naman or kalahati, ang nakikita nila yung sarili nila na one of the hardest workers sa STEM class. So, kanina sinabi ko rin nga, 'di ba, kung ano yung tingin mo sa sarili mo, yun yung mangyayari sa'yo or yun yung magma-manifest sa buhay mo. And so, ganito, kung mas mababa yung tingin nila sa sarili nila na hindi sila ganun katalino or hindi sila part ng mga pinakamatatalino sa klase, parang mahirap na magpursige, 'di ba? Tama po ba? Lalo na before, no? Parang ang hirap, lalo na pag sa estudyante, parang mali ang magkamali. Yun, parang mahirap ang magkamali. Parang yung sinasabi ni Susan Roses na bawal magkasakit. Parang nagkakaroon tayo ng traditional mindset na bawal magkamali or bawal mag-fail. Diba? So, if they have that kind of mindset, hindi po sila magkakaroon ng growth. Kasi yung growth natin, nangyayari lang yan kapag naka-experience tayo ng lahat ng klase ng experiences, from negative to positive, from failure to success. So, kung hindi nila naranasan yung mga ganong klase ng experiences, hindi po sila mag-grow. Hindi sila makakalabas sa kanilang comfort zone. And so, our last insight number 5, is encourage a growth mindset. Okay? We have to emphasize the process of discovering and exploring and not just the correct answer. So, huwag tayong mag-focus masyado sa tamang sagot lang. Kailangan makita natin paano sila nag-come up dun sa answer na yon. Kaya 'di ba mga math teacher, tama po, no? Lagi po kayo naghahanap ng solution dun sa problem. Hindi pwedeng answer lang agad. Kunyari may math problem, hindi pwede na type ang susulat lang nila ay sagot lang. Hinahanap nyo po pati yung sinulat ba nila yung given, tapos yung mga ginawa po nilang steps para ma-solve yung problem na yun. So it's the same thing with this one. We need to see how they got there. Okay? Kasi kailangan natin silang maturuan na magtiwala sa proseso. Ito yung favorite ng mga millennial na sinasabi ngayon. Trust the process. So if the first or second or third try, if plan A, B, or C will fail, if you don't get it right, you can just restart and restart. You can start over and over again. Because part of the entire process is learning from the mistakes that you make every time you try. Part yun ng pag-grow natin. Alam natin yan, lalo na tayo sa mga ganitong teacher na tayo, parent na tayo, sa mga ganitong edad. Alam natin na yung mga experiences natin noon, kung hindi natin na-experience yun, wala tayo dito sa posisyon natin ngayon, hindi ba? So, ganun din, sabihin natin sa mga bata, na when they're trying to discover something and they fail, turuan natin sila na, sige, tingnan mo nga, saang part ng process na to ang pwede nating i-change? Anong part ng process na to yung sa tingin mo best na nangyari sa'yo? So, ano yung parang hindi masyadong maganda doon sa pangyayari na yun? So, parang iniisa-isa natin yung step ng process na yun para makita nila kung ano yung kailangan nilang i-change, kailangan nilang i-add, kailangan nilang tanggalin doon sa process na yun. Instead of focusing lang doon sa result, sa output na parang, pag pangit yung output, ibig sabihin mali-mali yung pinagagawa mo from the start. Kasi malay nyo, meron siyang ginawa dun sa process na yun na maganda pala, nakakaiba pala. And we just need to help with it. Diba? We just need to give the proper support. So, yun ang kailangan nating ipakita din sa mga bata. We need to give them the proper growth mindset. Kasi from there, may encourage sila to still go on, na ipagpatuloy nila. Kahit magkamali sila ngayon, matalo sila sa quiz bee, kahit hindi sila maging part ng isang organization, hindi sila nakapasa sa audition, or baka feel nila hindi sila marunong dun sa isang topic dun sa subject na yun. It's okay. They can still try different ways, or they can still pursue that way and try to do different actions para makarating dun sa lugar na yon or dun sa gusto nilang mapuntahan. And so, yun ang kailangan nating ipakita sa kanila. And with this quote, I think this will be the final quote. Pero hindi pa ito yung final discussion ko. May mga share pa ako sa inyo. Siyempre, hindi tayo matatapos sa ganito. So, ito pong final quote na gusto kong i-share. This is from Marie Curie. Isa to sa pinakakilala na physicist and chemist. Bakit? Kasi she was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize, the first and the only woman to win the Nobel Prize twice, and the only person to win the Nobel Prize in 2 scientific fields. Grabe, no? Ang dami niyang na-break na parang world record. So, ganun siya kakilala and ganun kalaki ang contribution niya sa field of STEM. And ano yung sinasabi niya? I was taught that the way of progress was neither swift nor easy. Tinuruan siya ng ganitong mindset ng progreso, hindi naman siya madali at di rin naman siya mabilis. Iba-iba ng pacing, iba-iba rin ng difficulty. So pag pinakita natin sa mga bata na okay lang yan, diba? Your chapter 1, you cannot compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10. Diba? Kung nakikita nyo na nandyan na sila, okay lang, patuloy ka lang ng patuloy. So those are the kinds of mindset that we should give our students. We should let them grow. Right? So there. So yung mga binanggit ko kanina, these are more of insights. Right? Pero this time, I want to show you how to turn those insights into actions. So ito medyo mas specific na tayo, more on the practical ways. Alright? So nilist ko siya dito for you. So our next discussion would be turning insight into action. Okay? So first of all, so una, ang ating insight number 1 kanina ay provide role models. So dito in our next slide, you will see ano ba yung pwedeng gawin ng mga education and non-profit leaders, ano yung pwedeng gawin ng mga teachers and ng mga parents to close the gender gap or to give equal opportunities sa lahat ng mga estudyante. Okay, so first, for education and non-profit leaders, you could identify female STEM professionals that you could invite in webinars like this. Diba? So pwede po kayong maghanap ng mga keynote speakers po in your events. And you can use those events sa schools ninyo or in your community to ensure that women in STEM and computer science are well represented. So, pwede po tayong gumawa ng mga school event that are specifically for women empowerment in STEM. And then for teachers naman po, we can inspire students with videos and posters featuring female role models. Pwede po kayo mag-share ng link or pag may nakita po kayo na mga internet websites, biographies ng mga scientists na ito, pwede nyo pong isend sa mga estudyante nyo. And yun nga po, pwede kayo mag-share ng articles about these women and young girls who are pursuing STEM. And then for parents naman po, you can let your daughters know pag may nakita po kayo sa internet or sa news ng mga female STEM professionals. Diba? Dahil nga itong insight na to, this focuses on more on raising awareness and giving them exposure. So as much as possible, sisendan natin sila or papakita natin sa kanila itong mga role models na pwede nilang gayahin. And you can also see if your daughters are interested in movies or books that depict women and girls achieving amazing things with STEM knowledge. So let's just allow them to see the life stories of these role models. Right? And in the next one, so next natin is generate excitement. So how do we do this one? We can, as education leaders, we can share the latest news with our community by sending them maybe newsletters or relevant blogs. And ngayon sa panahon natin, mas uso na yung mga vlog, diba, sa YouTube. So pwede tayo mag-send ng mga ganun sa ating mga estudyante. And we can also post blogs, posters, or videos that highlight the creative possibilities in STEM. So, kagaya ng sabi ko kanina, yung sa story ko, nung nakakita ko ng poster, doon ako na-inspire. So, maybe there's someone sa inyong community, sa inyong student body that's just waiting for that sign, diba, na mag-pursue ng STEM. So, mag-send lang tayo, mag-post lang tayo, lalo na ngayon, madali na lang mag-post sa social media. So, gamitin natin yung mga social media accounts ng ating mga schools or ng ating division to share articles and posters or videos about women in STEM. And then for teachers, you can check out the Women in Tech lesson plans. Type nyo po yan sa internet, Women in Tech lesson plans from Girls Who Code. Makakakuha po kayo na ng mga lesson plans na pwede nyo pong gamitin. You can integrate in your own subjects and curriculum. Ayan, para makatulong po sa mga teachers natin about itong topic natin ito. And then also, you can show them the important jobs that they can do with STEM knowledge. If you have maybe career orientation or career day, or even kahit sa mga student orientation nyo lang, or even just a normal online classroom day, pwede nyo po i-share sa kanila na ito yung mga pwede nyo pasukin na trabaho in the STEM field. Okay? And then lastly, for teachers, you can teach an hour of code in your classroom. So, itong hour of code po na to, pwede nyo po siya i-search sa website, and pwede po kayong umattend next week. So, next Saturday po, we'll have another webinar like this, but it will be focused more on the hour of code. Yan. So, makikita nyo na po yung coding mismo. Ano ba yung ginagawa dun sa hour of code na yun? And paano natin siya ituturo sa mga estudyante? And this will spark their interest sa STEM field. Okay? And the next, for parents naman, you can talk about these important jobs. Diba? Kunyari, naghahapunan kayo, nagla-lunch po kayo, pwede nyo pong kausapin ng mga anak ninyo. Tanungin nyo po sila kung kamusta na ba yung STEM class nila, interested ba sila sa science, sa math, anong sa tingin nila sa mga science and math subjects nila, or baka may club sila na sinasalihan. With these discussions that we have, yung mga everyday discussions natin sa kanila, this can help them already. No? Just to know na there's someone who wants to support them. So, that could help generate their excitement. And then in the next one, ating next slide, we have provide hands-on experience. So for education leaders, you can introduce STEM and computer science at an early age. So kahit bata po yan, kahit preschool pa nga po yan, pwede na po kayong magbigay ng mga STEM-related activities. And you can also introduce immersive lessons and learning experiences that all your students will love. And you can also, like what I said, offer STEM clubs and activities sa inyong school or organization. And then for teachers naman po, you can give a lot of hands-on experiences. You can explore the different Microsoft tools like MakeCode or even Minecraft to highlight the creative and problem-solving aspects of computer science and STEM. So, tingnan nyo po yan. I-search po ninyo yung MakeCode at saka Minecraft. And in the next few Saturdays pa po, di-discuss pa po natin yan. So, don't worry. Mas makikilala natin up close itong mga Microsoft tools about STEM. Okay? And then you can also engage students with experiments and activities connected to real-world problems and situations. So it's better that they see ano yung nangyayari talaga sa paligid nila. Diba? We don't hide the truth or reality from them. Ano yung reality ng mundo natin ngayon? Diba? We are in a pandemic. The technology is advancing so fast. And so, pakita natin sa mga estudyante yun kasi doon nila makikita yung mga issues, mga problems with the society or sa paligid nila na pwede nilang gawan ng solution. That they could innovate something to help na mawala yung mga issues na yun or to solve those problems. Okay? And then for parents naman po, you can try fun activities at home that are related to science or math or even technology. Ayan. And you can also introduce your daughters to webinars like this or maybe to clubs and activities, organizations that are related to STEM. And then next, we need to also provide encouragement as education leaders. So in the next slide po, you will see here, empower teachers and group leaders with STEM and computer science professional development. Okay? So, sige. So, we need to also give your teachers, your faculty or even your non-teaching staff, opportunities para mag-explore ng STEM. Kasi syempre, dahil sa kanila manggagaling, yung learning na matututunan ng mga estudyante, kailangan sila muna, interested sila, and kailangan sila muna makita nila yung beauty ng STEM. Kasi yung enthusiasm ni teacher, yun yung mapapasa sa mga bata. Okay? And then next, provide school counselors with the info and resources for supporting girls in CS. Okay? So yeah, so kung meron po kayong mga guidance counselors, school counselors, who you can help po. Kasi syempre, pag may mga career-related na discussions, usually ang nagdi-discuss nun would be the guidance counselor or school counselor. So, pwede niyo po i-discuss yun with the students. And also for teachers, you can read stories about other young people your students can relate to. Pwede maka-age nila. And then you can talk with parents about the role of STEM in the future and the importance of support at home. So, like what I said, coordinate with the parents. And yun nga po, get your STEM on. Kailangan kayo rin po ay enthusiastic sa STEM. Mas okay na kayo din po nag-explore ng STEM para po mas madali nyo po siyang matuturo sa mga bata. And kumbaga parang mag-overflow, mahahawa yung mga bata sa enthusiasm na meron po kayo. And then for parents, you can ask your daughters what they think of their STEM classes and why, and give them your attention and support when they express interest or curiosity about science or computers. And then lastly, sa atin pong last, so next one is yung, sige po, isa pa po, pa-next pa po natin. So, encourage a growth mindset. So, dapat, sabi po dito, coach teachers and group leaders to support all aspects of the learning process. This is also in connection with professional development. And also explore different models for adding computer science to existing schools. So, pwede nyo po siyang i-search sa internet, ano ba yung ginagawa ng ibang schools and organizations regarding STEM. And pwede nyo pong gayahin yun sa inyong school. Okay, tingnan nyo po ano yung best practices ng mga schools na kilala ngayon in the STEM field. Okay? And then for teachers, you can empower girls to ask questions about the lesson or material and then yung relevance nun sa buhay nila. So let's not stop them from asking. Yung pagiging inquisitive nila would help them become more interested and exposed sa STEM field. And you can share also your own growth mindset. Pwede nyo pong gawin yung discussion sa klase nyo, kung ano po yung life story nyo din, how you got there as a teacher. And then you can also start a STEM-related club. And then lastly, for parents, like what teachers will do, show your own growth mindset as well. And then let your daughters know that they don't need to have the right answer right away. So the important thing is to seek out and discover these answers. Okay? And then next one would be the sources and tools. Okay? So papakita ko lang naman po sa inyo ano po yung mga websites na pwede nyo pong puntahan. Alright? So take note nyo po yan. Baka may notebook po kayo ngayon dyan or pwede nyo pong i-screenshot yung screen na nakikita nyo po ngayon. Ayan. So next slide po natin. The first source that you can go to is Girls in STEM. Okay? This one is about closing the STEM gap. So mga teachers po dyan, you can go to the Microsoft Educator Center. I think some of you already have your accounts in this. Or if not, you can sign in and create your own account. And then you can go to this course po. Ayan. This is specifically about Girls in STEM. So makikita nyo po dito lahat ng mga pwede nyo pong gawing activities and how you integrate STEM po sa inyong mga lessons. Okay? So yan po. Girls in STEM, closing the STEM gap na nasa Microsoft Educator Center. Okay po? Yan. So hanapin nyo po yan. Para magkaroon din po kayo ng badge. Kita nyo po yun, may badge po dyan nakalagay, Girls in STEM, Closing the STEM Gap. So, ipunin nyo po yung mga badge nyo na yan and you can share that in your social media accounts. Okay? And the next one. So, in the next slide, you will see here, Closing the STEM Gap. So, this one is a PDF ng research na pinakita ko po sa inyo kanina. So, the results I showed you earlier are summarized already. But if you want to read the entire research, you can go to this website. So, sige po, pwede nyo pong i-screenshot now. Type nyo po yung, take down nyo po yung itong link na nandito po sa ating screen. There you go. Okay. And the next one, we have Girls in STEM programs for girls. So this is more of computer science. So sige po, next po natin siya. Tingnan po natin yung ating next slide. Ayan. So this slide, this website naman po is very complete na. So nandito na po yung mga action guide na pwede nyo pong gawin as teachers and parents. And there's also mga tawag dito, videos, inspirational videos that you can use or you can share to your students. And even other resources, maybe lesson plans or teaching materials that you can use po. Okay, so look for this website, Girls in STEM Programs for Girls, Microsoft CSR. Okay, hanapin niyo po yan. And then next would be STEM-related entertainment and toys naman po. So, pwede nyo pong tingnan tong website din po na to. Makikita nyo po yung mga movies or books or even games that your students can use po or they can watch para po mas maging interested po sila sa STEM. Okay, so ayan, hanapin nyo po STEM-related entertainment and toys. And the next part po is technology-related careers. So, look for this website as well. You will see the people who are involved in STEM, ano yung mga trabaho nila, so that your students can see na ito yung pwede nilang gawin in the future. Right? And the next, opportunities for computer science students. So this one naman po would be more of articles that could encourage your students and even ano yung mga Microsoft programs and organizations that they can join para po mas maintindihan pa nila ang computer science. So again, this is the website of opportunities for computer science students with fields. Okay. And the next one would be STEM skills and lessons for the classroom. So again, search for this one or write that down in your notebook. You can look for lesson plans here, other teaching resources that could help you build STEM skills in your classroom. And even po sa parents, pwede po kayo dito maghanap ng mga STEM activities. Right? And then, next po we have, ito yung sinasabi ko po kaninang Minecraft Education Edition. So, some of you might be familiar with this already. Baka po yung mga anak nyo, yung mga pamangkin nyo po, naglalaro na po nito lagi. Kagaya po ng mga pinsan kong laging nagma-Minecraft. So, pwede nyo pong i-share sa kanila yan and you will see the educational benefits of Minecraft. Okay, yung educational side niya. Now, it's not just for leisure and entertainment, but also for learning. And you can go to this homepage and you can also attend our next seminars or in the next Saturdays po to know more about Minecraft. Okay? And the next one, I think this is the second to the last. This one is Inspire Students website. This is more of inspirational videos. This will show you famous people, not just scientists, but also celebrities na nagko-code or that are trying to do computer science. So yan, so makikita po ng mga estudyante ninyo yung mga favorite celebrities nila that are in the field of STEM as well. Okay? And then we also have, this one is the STEM laboratory. So I think this would be best for elementary teachers, maybe preschool teachers, and then sa parents din po, if you want to do STEM activities at home. So hanapin nyo po yung STEM activities na pwede nyo pong gawin dito. So 50 plus yan. So marami po kayong pagpipilian. Alright? So there you go. I think that's where my discussion ends. So I hope na lahat po kayo ay marami pong natutunan. I know that you are now excited. No talaga, no? Sure na. I know that you are excited for STEM already. For all of you teachers, parents, educational leaders, and even students po. I know that it's never too late to start pursuing your STEM dreams. And this is coming from someone that wasn't in the STEM field before, but is now in the field of technology. So ngayon, isa na po akong trainer. And I work with different schools, teachers, and students to train them and give them certification, specifically about Microsoft certification. So kanina binanggit ni Miss Clarissa that one of the things they're looking for sa Microsoft is certification. So that's what we do. So we train these students para po magkaroon sila ng mga certifications that they can use for college, for business, or for work. And so from my experience, na dati po akong English teacher, na hindi naman po ako interested in STEM before, but because of the problems that I see around me and I see na yung technology natin ngayon ay talagang mabilis na nag-advance and nag-evolve. So from there, dun ko nakita na there's a need for people to be interested in STEM, and specifically for me would be the technology field. And so now what I'm trying to do is to also encourage you. So even if, for example, ngayon hindi pa kayo interested sa STEM or wala pa kayo sa STEM field, you can join our other sessions po so that you can learn more about the STEM field and you can be encouraged. Okay? And as a woman, I want to empower girls, young women, and my fellow women who are maybe of the same age or older than me to discover your own superpowers to change the world. Because I believe in this quote, which says, empowered women empower women. Right? So again, I am Miss Nika, and this has been my part, which is Girls in STEM. Thank you po for listening, and I would like to give the floor back to our hosts. Alright, let us call in again Miss Mardine, Miss Rubelin, and also Miss Joy. Hello po ulit sa inyo.
Nakaka-impress po.
Yay!
Thank you po.
Thank you very much, Teacher Nika.
Thank you rin po.
At ang daming na-inspired, lalo na ng mga STEM students natin this morning. At tinatanong din kasi nila, Ma'am, makakakuha po ba kami ng certificate dito po sa aming webinar this morning? So, the big answer is yes! So, ayan. Suportado tayo ng EdTech dito. So, for those of you guys na meron pong question, paano makukuha ang certificate? So, this morning, can we also invite Sir Mark Anthony Papa para bigyan tayo ng step-by-step procedure kung paano natin makukuha ang ating certificate ngayong umaga. Andiyan na ba si Sir Pat?
Hello, Mark.
Sir Papa, good morning. Ayan. So, wala pa si Sir Paps. Mamaya, babalikan po natin yan at i-explain po namin yung detalye kung paano nyo makukuha ang certificate. Once again, thank you very much, Teacher Mika, para sa inyo pong share sa amin na mga insights at talagang lalong nag-alab ang excitement ng ating mga students as they go on dito po sa STEM. Diba? Teacher Rubelin? Teacher Mardy?
Yes, tama. Kaya nga, gusto ko yung mga nag-declare kanina because words are life-changing yung mga nagsabi. Lalo na yung kay Miss Vicenta Enoch. Talagang naano ko dun natuwa ako kasi sabi niya, positive perception sa sarili at positive perception sa STEM. So, tamang-tama and sobrang agree po kami dyan sa inyong share sa ating chat box. And sa iba po, mag-continue lang po kayo mag-share ng inyong insights at binabasa po talaga namin yan at iniisa-isa po namin yung mga pagbati nyo ng good morning. Ayan, patuloy pa rin ang mga nag-good morning. So, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.
Thank you, Teacher Mika.
Thank you po.
So, we will now proceed to our next speaker this morning.
Yes, Miss Joy. Alam niyo po ba, time surely flies when we are having fun, di ba po, Miss Rubelina and Miss Joy? Enjoy po ba kayo sa umagang ito?
Sobra.
Sobra. Ako din. Madami talaga ako natutunan. Women talaga. Very empowered na tayong lahat. At nasa last part na po tayo ng ating webinar series for today. Kung ready na kayo, please type naman po dyan, Pinay Scientist. Again, please type naman po sa ating chat box, Pinay Scientist.
Pinay Scientist.
Oo, very interesting
Ayan.
po, 'di ba? Pinay scientist. Meron palang Pinay na scientist. Alam niyo po ba
O, 'di
'yan?
ba?
Actually, Teacher Mardy, pangarap ko sana maging scientist dati
Ay,
nung nasa elementary
Wow!
pa ako. Na, pero hindi pa huli ang lahat, 'di ba?
Oo
puwedeng-puwede
naman.
pa. Puwedeng-puwede pa po, 'wag po kayong
Ayan.
mag-alala. Puwede naman po kayong Pinay STEM teacher, 'di ba? Oh, 'di ba?
Oh, 'di
Ibang
Yes!
ba?
level din 'yan.
Yeah, as of now
Ayan
po, ano na
naman.
ako Pinay science teacher na din sa elementary.
Ayan na.
Yun. Pasok naman pala. Nagta-type naman. Nandiyan na si Ma'am Lina. Sino ba
Ayan,
ito,
Yes!
maraming
Lina?
salamat. Miss Lina,
Yay! Thank you
ayan.
po. Si
Hintay
Ayan,
ko
Ma'am
na.
lang ma'am at
Zenaida. Hello po sa
at
inyo.
Teacher Joy at Teacher Mardy, flex ko lang ha, si Ma'am Lina Maiso kasi, isa po sa principal ng Lapu-Lapu City Division. Every Saturday
Oh,
po,
naman.
nanonood siya. Umaga,
Hello,
hapon,
Ma'am Lina.
yan. Hi,
Morning
Ma'am
po.
Lina.
Good
Ayan.
Ayan.
morning.
Ayan din. Kay Artie from Negros Oriental.
Ayan.
Ayan.
Ma'am
So,
Lina.
Teacher Mardy, can you do the floor para ipakilala na po ang ating next speaker?
Sure,
Super
Miss
excited.
Joy. Alam mo bang sobra po akong honor talaga to introduce this speaker sa inyong lahat at lalong-lalo na po sa ating mga manonood na guro at mga estudyante. Dahil sabi nga ni Miss Mika na kailangan natin ng role model to inspire girls to become part of STEM. Now, our next speaker is a Pinay scientist, but not only that, she is a global Pinay scientist. Her works are not only confined in the Philippines, but also she is dominating the global scene. As we speak, she is currently in Spain, based po siya sa Spain and doing some research. She has obtained her Master of Science in Human Genetics from Stanford University at sa kalukuyan, she is working at PATH, which is a global non-profit organization dedicated to improve public health. Siya po ay namumuno sa diagnostics program ng PATH kung saan sila ang gumagawa o bumubuo at nagpapakilala ng mga makabagong teknolohiya para sugpuin ang mga nakakahawang sakit at non-communicable diseases for developing countries gaya po ng ating bansa at ng iba pa. Now let's all welcome Ms. Tala de los Santos, our passionate Filipina scientist who was recently honored as a rising leader by the Washington Global Health Alliance through their Pioneers of Global Health and Award series. Ang Rising Leader Award po ay iginagawad lamang sa mga inspirational leader under 40 na nagpapakita ng dedikasyon para labanan ang global health inequality. Isang virtual palakpakan naman po para kay Miss Tala. Hello. Ayan, pasensya na po. May inaayos lang po tayo.
Kasi nasa Spain si Miss Mika,
Oh,
right?
opo, nasa Spain kasi. So, medyo inaayos pa po natin ang ating connection. Pero siguro, alam mo kanina may maganda pong insight ako na nakuha kay Miss Mika. Yung sabi niya, STEM in early childhood. Dahil sobra po ako, kasi preschool teacher po ako, Miss Rubelino. So parang, uy, natuwa ako doon na na-touch ako doon dahil in-acknowledge ni Miss Mika yung kailangan ng mga early experiences para sa ating mga kabataan, sa mga students, ating mga young learners. Kasi tama po talaga yon na yung mga the moment children are born, kahit nga po, di ba, nasa womb pa lang ni mommy, yung paano natin nurture doon na nagsa-start yung learning process po ng ating mga young learners. Kaya yung encouragement, yung excitement, and yung learning experiences sa STEM, the earlier the better for greater impact and results towards future successes. Ayan, gaya nga po ni
Yes.
Miss Tala.
Yes, yes. Very well
Ayan.
said po. Talagang nakinig si Teacher Mardy, no? Ayan na, si Miss Tala.
Ayan na, Miss
Ayan.
Tala.
Ayan. Ready na si ma'am?
Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat.
Magandang umaga
Pasensya na
po.
kayo at video recording lang ito. Nabanggit siguro sa inyo na ngayon ay nakatira ako sa Spain. So by the time you are viewing this video, the time difference would mean na madaling araw para sa akin. But nonetheless, pasalamat pa rin ako na may pagkakataon tayong magkausap kahit video conference lang, and recorded video conference at that. So I want to thank the organizers for the invitation to speak to you today. Let me get my slides and see if this works. There we go. So first, let me introduce myself. Ako ay isang scientist. Yun na siguro ang pinakamadaling i-explain sa trabaho ko. Pero in reality, marami akong roles. Minsan, ang job description ko ay researcher, minsan naman technology developer, o kaya ay global program leader. Pero sa lahat ng mga ito, ang basihan ay STEM education. At masasabi ko na since bata ako, I've always been interested in science. I want to borrow a quote from Pablo Picasso. Sabi niya, "All children are born artists. The problem is to remain an artist as we grow up." At sa tingin ko, totoo rin ito for the sciences, not just for the arts. Ano ang pinakapaboritong tanong ng mga bata? Bakit? Bakit ganito to, nanay? Bakit ganito ito, tatay? And my kids, I would have to say, are exactly the same way. This is Gabby, my daughter, holding a toad. And on the other picture, Belen with her very first science kit. Scientists are like children in that way of always asking why. Why does the world work the way it does? This kind of questioning, the search for answers, this is what drives scientists to pursue the work that we do. I think swerte ako na nung bata ako, meron akong mga role models in STEM. Ang nanay ko ay math teacher, ang tatay ko ay architect, at dalawang tiyo ko ay engineers. So para sa akin, being interested in science was totally normal. For high school, ako ay nag-aral sa Manila Science High School, at pagkatapos ng Masay, nagpatuloy ako ng pag-aaral ko sa US. Actually, halos hindi natuloy yun, and at ganito ang nangyari. My last year of high school, I saw an announcement for a scholarship opportunity to attend an international school called the United World College, or UWC. So excited ako, and I spoke to my guidance counselor. Pero ang sabi niya sa akin, sabi niya, "Tala, sa tingin ko, hindi ka nila tatanggapin. Hindi ikaw ang tipo ng estudyante na pipiliin nila." So, obviously disappointed ako nung narinig ko yun, pero buti na lang, hindi ako nakinig sa kanya. At nagpursige pa rin akong mag-apply. At nagulat ang lahat, guidance counselor ko, parents ko, pati ako, nagulat na natanggap ko ang scholarship offer. So, ito ang aking first lesson na I want to share with you. Watch what you feed your mind. So, nag-attend ako ng United World College in the United States. Isa siyang international school with 200 students from 80 different countries. It was really a life-changing experience for me. Pagkatapos ng UWC, sabi ko sa parents ko na gusto ko sana magpatuloy mag-aral sa United States. Payag naman sila. In fact, super supportive sila. Pero kailangan ko ulit ng scholarship dahil hindi namin ma-afford ang tuition sa US. But fortunately, nakakuha ulit ako ng scholarship, this time to attend Mount Holyoke College. At nag-graduate ako with a degree in biology. Pagkatapos ng Mount Holyoke College, I wanted to go to graduate school. Again, halos hindi natuloy. Nung nag-apply ako for graduate school, I was aiming for the top graduate schools in the country. Unfortunately, sabi sa akin ng favorite teacher ko from biochemistry, sabi niya sa akin that I may not be good enough for those top graduate schools that I was applying to, and that I should consider applying to other schools that are not as top ranked. Muntik na akong makinig sa teacher na ito. Pero buti na lang, I had other teachers and other mentors who told me the opposite. So sabi nila that I can do it. And so for me, ay sabi ko, sige, then I decided to stick to my first plan and send my application to the top schools. And thankfully, Stanford accepted my application. And not just Stanford, also Princeton, Duke, and others. So this is the second lesson that I want to share with you. Fear kills more dreams than failure ever will. So, natuto akong mag-rock climbing nung nasa United World College ako. And I passed that love of rock climbing to my daughter, Belen. This is Belen when she was only 6 years old. Nung una ko siyang dinala sa kanyang very first rock climbing wall. Para sa akin, magandang metaphor ang rock climbing para sa buhay. Sabihin natin na komportable ka ngayon o kayang lahat, pero gusto mong umasenso. At kung sa baga sa rock climbing, gusto mong marating ang tuktok. If that's the case, you have to let go of where you are now. You have to let go of what is comfortable and reach, maybe even jump to the next handhold or foothold. And that whole process can be very scary, no? But unfortunately, there is no other way. Because if you really want something, you have to go for it. Wag mong sabihin sa sarili mo na wag na lang at baka naman hindi umubra. Dahil, well, totoo yan, baka nga hindi umubra. Because there is no guarantee that just because you try, you will succeed. But you have to do it dahil nobody else can do it for you. I've told you about my educational background, and this is what enabled me to pursue a career in STEM. So fast forward tayo to the present day. What are the STEM achievements that I am most proud of? I now work for PATH. It is an international nonprofit organization that makes medical technologies for use in developing countries, katulad ng Pilipinas. I am very grateful sa trabaho na ito dahil kung saan-saang sulok ng mundo ang inabot ko because of my work. From Tanzania to Nicaragua to Brazil and Vietnam as well. So up to about a year ago, at PATH, I was leading the diagnostics program. The diagnostics program is a team of scientists and technology developers who co-develop tests alongside our commercial partners. Itong mga ito, these are some of the examples of our successes. And these include tests for various infectious diseases like malaria and river blindness. Gusto ko sana i-emphasize, sana napansin ninyo na sabi ko, ang mga achievements ng ito ay achievements ng team ko, hindi achievements ko. This is an important point. Most modern technological breakthroughs are ever hardly the result of a genius scientist working alone in his or her laboratory. No? In my experience, success is really the result of teamwork. So that even as you gain a lot of technical expertise in your chosen STEM field, you also need other skills to succeed, especially the ability to collaborate, the ability to be a good team member, to empathize, in addition to the ability to lead. And then another important skill set is also adapting for the future. And maybe this is the lesson number 3 that I want to share. It has been over a year now since I've given up the leadership of the diagnostics program and I moved to a new role. In my new role, I help project teams incorporate so-called frontier technologies into their work, specifically artificial intelligence or machine learning. Team lead ako sa PATH ng isang initiative that we are calling AI for Health. It is a partnership between PATH and Microsoft, where our teams use Excel, software like Excel, to gather and organize health data, and we use Azure for cloud computing capabilities. As you can see sa mga examples na nabanggit ko, napaka-importante ng STEM, right? Skills in STEM make possible the creation of new technologies that have the potential to make major contributions to the health of people around the world. Maybe I want to end the talk with two tinatawag nating call to action for you. Okay? I heard a talk by Joey Ito. Siya ang director ng MIT Media Lab, and he said something that is worthy of repeating. He said, education is something done to us, but learning is something we do to ourselves. And I think this is so true, right? If you want to be part of the STEM revolution, I want to tell you that you have the means to do this. There are so many different ways to get involved. I think one of the first things you have to do is to learn the language, and in particular, learn the language of coding. I strongly believe, especially for you, next generation, kayo, by the time you join the workforce, I believe that the ability to code is going to be one of the required skill sets for anybody who wants to work in technology in the future. Now, the good news is that there are actually so many resources online. At marami sa kanila, marami itong mga resources na ito, they're available for free. And then even with just 1 year of coding experience, you can learn enough background to take it one step further and study neural networks. That is essentially the prerequisite for doing artificial intelligence work. I want to share with you an example of an organization. It's called Fast AI. Fast AI is a nonprofit organization. They're based in San Francisco, and they trained people on how to do machine learning. It's completely free. Their online classes are completely free. And by now, they have trained thousands and thousands of people on machine learning. And this is really high quality education. About 3 years ago, a team of Fast AI graduates beat a team of engineers from Google in a robot dueling contest. That's what you see there on that picture there. At mga 2 years ago naman, a small group of Fast AI students created an algorithm that outperformed the code from Google's researchers. At for those of you naman na more adventurous at willing kayo mag-abroad to continue your studies, here are some possibilities to consider. In Paris, France, there's a school called 42. It is a private, non-profit, and tuition-free computer programming school. It provides computer science education, kasama ang room and board, completely free. The curriculum is supposed to be 5 years, pero what they find that a good number of students leave only after being there for 1 or 2 years. Dahil by then, they have amassed enough skill sets to actually make them hireable by a lot of companies. And if you don't want to go to Paris, 42, the school 42, they also have a campus in California. In addition to 42, there are other alternatives. And some of those, and these schools, the one there and the circle, are some examples where their model is you get into the school, pero wag ka muna magbayad ng tuition. In fact, you graduate and you don't pay tuition hanggang makakuha ka ng trabaho. So the idea is simple, right? If the schools don't give you the skill sets to be highly sought after in the job market, then it means that they have failed. So, and if that's the case, then you don't have to owe them money. Pero if you do get a job, then the schools will take a certain percentage of your salary, but just until you recoup the cost of your education. I think this is really fair, and it's a wonderful way for people to get the kind of high quality world-class education, even if you may not have a whole lot of money to do so. So I want to say that actually right now, you are already in this brave new world of technology, right? The Philippines social media usage, like in Facebook, for example, is not one of the highest, but is the highest in the world. This is a survey by We Are Social. It's a social networking research firm, and this is from 2020. Now, I want to say that for Filipinos to actually lead in the tech sector, we need our youth, we need you, to be more than just consumers of technology. We also need you to be the creators and designers of technology. Let's see. Okay, I have 3 questions I'm supposed to answer. Okay, the first one, was becoming a scientist your first or only dream growing up? Do you have other dream careers? Well, actually, I would say nung bata ako, gusto kong maging doktor. But the more I learned about research, the more I fell in love with it. Siguro the only time na nagsisi ako na hindi ako naging doktor was when I went on a trip in Tanzania. So Tanzania is a country in Eastern Africa. I was traveling there with a team of surveillance experts from the World Health Organization, and we were in a remote village performing surveillance. And that was when I really wish I was a medical doctor and I could have helped with the immediate situation of the medical needs of the village. Okay, second question. What are the challenges you faced as a woman in STEM field? How did you overcome these challenges? Well, I would say na unti-unti nang nag-i-improve siya. Pero sa totoo lang, konti pa rin ang mga women scientists. Especially konti ang mga women scientists are Filipino. I have been in so many situations na ako lang ang iisang babae at ako lang ang hindi puti or hindi kano, so to speak, in a meeting. So it can be lonely at sa simula, because no one else there looks like you. You can start questioning if you belong there, if you belong in that world. Pero buti na lang nga, I have a good support system of my family, my friends, my colleagues who help me overcome a lot of these challenges. Okay, last question. What advice or message can you give to our future women scientists who aspire to become the next Miss TALA in the field of STEM. Well, the advice is not really just for women scientists, but really anyone who is pursuing a dream. This may sound very cliche or corny, pero I think it's really true. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you can make it. And I already mentioned that in the talk, that there will always be people who will say na hindi mo kaya at huwag kang magpilit. But don't let these people get to you. And on the more positive side, I would say find mentors, right? Mentors are people who are willing to help you achieve your dreams. Swerte nga ako na I had many mentors, both when I was going through school and also in my career, who have really helped me along the way. Pero siguro hindi rin tamang sabihin na swerte lang. Dahil pag sinasabi mong maswerte, it's as if nagkataon lang. And that's not really the case. Yung mga mentors, hindi mo naman yun basta-basta lang nakikita. You actually have to search for them. You have to find the mentors and ask them if they're willing to help you. And remember, a lot of us start from the beginning, right? I mean, all of us start at the beginning. The people who are at the top now, they also started at the beginning. So find your mentors, ask them for help, ask them for what you need, ask them for what you want. I know that for a lot of people, especially mga bata pa, sometimes mahirap humingi ng tulong. Parang nakakahiya, wag na lang sana, and all of those things. Ayaw mong mga abala, but don't do that. Don't let that get in your way. Remember that there are people who are willing to help, but they cannot help you if they are not aware, if they don't know what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So show up, speak up, and let the world know what you are hoping to do. And I think I'm going to end there. And if you have any other questions, just send them over to the organizers, and I'll be happy to answer anything more. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Yan! Thank you very much kay Miss TALA de los Santos, our very own Pinay scientist. Oh, di ba? Bongga niyan. Okay? So, ayan. So, at this point, ayan. So, we will now go to tama ba? Dinig ba ako, Ma'am Mardy? Dinig niyo ako? Okay,
Yes po, loud and clear.
Ayan, okay.
Yes po.
So, we will now have here the Certificate of Appreciation. Ayan. Konting ang tawag dyan. Zoom ko lang ng konti. Ayan. So, this certificate is presented to Clarissa Segismundo, Microsoft Philippines, for sharing her valuable knowledge as guest speaker during the TechTalk STEM Heroes, Importance of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math, conducted by the ICTS Educational Technology Unit on March 6, 2021. Given this 6th day of March 2021 in DepEd Central Office, Meralco Avenue, Pasig City, Philippines. Signed by Director Abanil, Director for ICTS, also by the head of the ICTS EdTech Unit, Mark Anthony C. And of course, the Undersecretary for Administration, Elaine Del B. Pasqua. Ayan. Congratulations kay Miss Clarissa Segismundo. And also, for our next speaker, ayan, Ma'am Rubilin. Ayan. For our next speaker, go, Ma'am. So, ayan. So, ako na rin. O sige po, walang problema. So, another certificate of appreciation. This time, this certificate is presented to Micaela Ranyoco. Ayan. Our Dentist Technologies Incorporated for sharing her valuable knowledge as guest speaker during TechTalks, STEM Heroes, the importance of science, technology, engineering, and math, conducted by the ICTS EdTech Unit. Once again, signed by Director Abram Y.C. Abanil, by Mark Anthony C.C., and our Undersecretary for Administration, Elaine Del B. Paspa. Congratulations, Ma'am Micaela. Yan. And last but definitely not the least is the Certificate of Appreciation to TALA de los Santos, the Global Program Advisor, Technology Analytics and Market Innovation. Once again, given the 6th day of March 2021 in DepEd Central Office, Meralco Avenue, Pasig City, signed by the head of the ICTS EdTech Unit, Sir Mark Anthony C.C., Director Abanil of the ICTS, and the Undersecretary for Administration, Elaine Del B. Pasqua. Ayan. Thank you so much po for sharing. Ngayon pong umaga dito po sa ating Microsoft #STEM Heroes. Alright. Yes, hashtag.
Ayan, congratulations po sa lahat ng speakers natin, Ma'am Joy.
Congratulations!
Sabi, no? Ang dami ko pong natutunan po, Miss Joy at Miss Mardy. Iba talaga pag ang mga babae, no? Hindi lang superhero. Hero na hero.
Correct! And, ayan, so for our training evaluation, so ipopost na ba ni Derek? Ayan. Ayan, nag-enjoy ka ba, Miss Mardy, sa ating first, ayun.
Sobrang nag-enjoy po talaga ako. Ang dami ko po talagang natutunan sa session natin ngayon. Sobrang fruitful po ng ating session. Una, we had Miss Clarissa Segismundo, who discussed with us how STEM can impact students, parents, and teachers. Tapos, sinundan naman siya ni Miss Mika na nag-share sa atin na girls can make a wave of change in the field of STEM. At lastly, lalong-lalo na kay Miss Tala, our real-life inspiration, who gave us a glimpse that women are already transforming the world one research at a time. So, pero,
alright.
Alam niyo po, ano po ba yung, wala lang, tanong ko lang po, ano po bang favorite line niyo from Miss Tala?
At tayo parang i-summarize ko na lang, no? So, iba talaga yung tinatawag nating girl power. Ayan. So, hindi talaga nagpapahuli ang kababaihan pagdating sa STEM. O, di ba? Angat tayo dyan.
Pero sa akin naman, Miss Joy at Miss Mardy, tumatak sa akin yung 3 points niya kanina, no? Like yung number 1, watch what you feed in your mind. Yun yung una. Pangalawa naman, fear kills more dreams than failures never will. Ayan. And of course, yung adapt for the future. Since tayo ngayon, di ba, nasa ibang henerasyon na, kahit nasa pandemya, kinakaya ng mga huwana. Ayan.
Parang hindi ko palalagpasin to, ma'am, from Ma'am Lina. Believe in yourself. Ayan. Meron si Ma'am Jero. #Miss Tala. Thank you po. May mga kanya-kanyang takeaway din ng ating mga viewers this morning.
Yun pala hindi pa tayo tapos. Magpe-break lang po tayo at 12. Then, sa mga sumusubaybay po sa amin, magkita-kita po tayo ulit at 1 o'clock. Marami pa pong mangyayari. Ayan.
Opo. For this morning session, pakitignan lang po dyan sa ibaba. Yan po sa atin pong screen. Yung atin pong training evaluation. Ayan po. So, ayan. Sagot po tayo dyan.
Yan. Kailangan masagutan po ang survey form na yan. And of course, later pag pupunta po kayo doon sa training.deped.gov.ph na LMS po ng DepEd. May quiz po doon, di ba, Ma'am
Oo
Joy?
nga. Opo. So, kailangan po ma-answer natin 12 out of 15 questions na nandoon. So, if ever merong time na meron kayong na-skip, wag po kayong mag-alala. Meron tayong tinatawag ditong team replay. So, pwede
Yes.
nyo po ulit, o di ba? Pwede nyo ulit i-replay yung eto pong part na to para balikan kung ano po yung medyo na-miss nyo at sa tingin nyo kulang para masagutan po yung ating quiz. Ayan.
Joy, pakinggan muna natin si Mamika, no? Since very special guest din po natin siya ngayon this morning.
Okay.
Sasabihin
Ayan,
niya.
nandyan. Ayan. So, sana. So, may we invite ang ating po mga friends na kasama po natin this morning. Andyan po ba sila? Para makapagbabay na tayo sa first part. Ayan. Ayan. Pakita na po kayo sa camera. Magbababay na tayo para sa ating morning session.
Ayan na.
Basta po. Ayan na. Eto na. Si Teacher Mika. Thank you so much.
Thank you po.
Thank you po for sharing.
Si Sir Francis naman ng ano.
Ayan, Sir Francis.
Naman po kayo.
Say hello. Hello po. Ayan. Ayan. Sir Francis, thank you po. Okay, thank you po. At ito po ay umpisa pa lang ha. Series of webinar po ito. Hatid sa inyo ng Microsoft. Yes.
So next Saturday, March 13 po, no, meron pa tayong another round of inspiring women leaders who are making a ripple naman sa world of technology. So kung ngayong araw po na ito ay science, next week naman po ay technology. Yan.
Okay. So, andyan na, Sir Francis. Okay. Thank you po once again for joining our first part of our webinar actually. So mamayang hapon meron pa po tayo. Pinapakilala rin po namin sa inyo aming webinar director this morning, Sir Glenn Horanyo. Hello, Sir Glenn. Thank you po. Ayan.
And of course po yung CEO po ng Odantis Technologies na partner po ng Microsoft this month, si Sir Francis Hernandez. Welcome po, sir. Yan. Okay.
Sir Francis, thank you. Ayan, makikita niyo rin po.
Thank you po. Thank you po. Maraming salamat.
Sir Francis, thank you po.
Ayan, dyan din po sa inyong screen. For your digital certificate, don't forget to log in to training.deped.gov.ph. Even students, makakakuha po kayo ng digital certificates this morning. Ayan. So,
my chances pa po, Miss Jen, right? Yeah.
Opo. Kasi makakapag team replay.
Ayan na si Jen.
Also, another Microsoft, bagets.
Bumata po si Sir Much.
Hello, Sir Much. And Sir Mark Anthony C. Hello, sir. Good morning. Thank you po. Thank you po sa pag-join. Opo. Ayan. So magla-lunch po muna tayo and mamayang 1 o'clock meron pa po tayong second part ng ating webinar. Okay? So
Ayan. So again, I am Teacher Mardy. At huwag po natin kakalimutan that there's no superhero if there's no her. Bye-bye!
Yay! Bye-bye everyone! Bye! Lunch na tayo.
Time.